to cast a tie-breaking Senate vote after 3 Republicans opposed the measure, joining every Democrat. House Speaker Mike Johnson is aiming to meet a July 4th deadline set by the president for final approval. Critics argue changes in Medicaid spending could throw millions of people off the health insurance.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Over 10 years, the Congressional Budget Office says the bill would increase the federal deficit by more than $3 trillion. The Trump administration says those estimates don't include the bill's impact on economic growth. Stephen Myron chairs the Council of Economic Advisors and tells Fox.
So the president knows the best way to create jobs, the best way to boost wages is to create an economic boom, an environment in which businesses just want to hire as many people as they can. And that's what this bill does.
Some House conservatives aren't happy with changes made in the Senate, adding more spending. Freedom Caucus Chair Andy Harris says some Republicans plan to oppose moving to a final vote tomorrow, allowing time to negotiate. One bipartisan Senate amendment blocked a plan to temporarily stop states from regulating artificial intelligence.
Supporters had argued because AI technology is rapidly evolving, having states hyper-regulate it could have national security implications.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on the Hill. Critics argued that provision would have trampled on states' rights. One electric vehicle advocacy group urging the House to revise the current bill's end of a tax credit on new EV sales and leases. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He has left. What happens next? You've got partly cloudy skies and 86 degrees in downtown Indy. Your high today at this time is 87. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 3:02. The Indiana Pacers are losing center Miles Turner. That's because he made a 4-year deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Turner was the Pacers' longest tenured player on the roster. He has spent his last 10 seasons in Indiana and has been a force for the team on both ends of the court. Turner led the team in blocks twice in his career. Last season alone, he was averaging 2 blocks, 18 points, and 7 rebounds. Turner was recruited as part of the Bucks' effort to also recruit Giannis Antetokounmpo. 7 men were charged for stealing less than 250 guns from a shipping center in Indy and selling them. Bruce Williams and Ryan Hurt were both working at that shipping center. They roped in other people to help steal and sell those guns 3 years ago, and so far only 60 guns were found 2 months ago. Indiana's cigarette tax triplets July 1st, jumping from under $1 to nearly $3 a pack. Lawmakers say it will close a $2 billion budget gap and raise $800 million for Medicaid. Supporters say it will cut smoking and boost revenue, but Gage Hessman told Wish TV,
I just think it's another thing to screw over the middle class, the working people. I just think it's kind of wrong. We're already paying outrageous money for everything else.
And with this change, Indiana will have the 12th highest cigarette tax in the country, higher than all its neighboring states. And the Indiana State Fair is out with its Taste of the Fair lineup. Jarrett Lewis with some of the interesting food and drink options vendors are bringing to the fairgrounds this year.
Ever had bacon-wrapped barbecue chicken on a stick? How about a jalapeno popper pizza? There will even be pineapple and cotton candy lemon shake-ups at the Indiana State Fair this year. Fairgoers can try it all. That's included in Taste of the Fair, presented by Pepsi, and then vote on their favorites. Vendors with the most votes will receive cash prizes. You can check out the entire menu of food and drink items in a story posted to WIBC.com. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
WIBC traffic at 3:05. What's going on, Matt Bear?
Yeah, Jake, looking at southbound 6570 stop-and-go traffic from Michigan Street down to the south split because of construction. Crash westbound 70 Hancock County before State Road 9. It's on the left shoulder. No delay at the moment. North side eastbound 465 stop-and-go traffic after Keystone Avenue past Allisonville Road. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. Now here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly clear and, more importantly, comfortable. We'll see lows fall to about 65. Sunny skies and a beautiful day on Wednesday with highs into the mid-80s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock!
Oh, man, they're partying in D.C. The Republicans have the votes to pass Trump's big, beautiful bill.
Now, remind me one more time what the big, beautiful bill is.
It's big! It's beautiful! And it's a bill.
That
big,
it is.
beautiful bill. Triple B's. Big, beautiful boobs. My second favorite thing next to the big, beautiful bill.
So now that we all know what it is, we can talk about what happened today. And it sounds like they're going to be on a fast track to have this bad boy sitting on the old orange man's desk by July 4th. Senate was able to pass it through today. You heard the news at the top of the hour a little bit earlier. It was a 50-50 tie, which means J.D. Vance got to go in there with the gavel and cast that deciding vote.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being evenly divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative. The bill as amended is passed.
Couple Republicans voting no. I think the usual suspects. We knew Rand Paul wasn't going to vote the way Trump wanted him to. I think Murkowski and Tillis as well.
Well, up in Alaska, I think Murkowski got everything that she was looking for.
Yeah. Who am I thinking of? There were three. I'll find it here in a second.
They played Let's Make a Deal with Alaska, and they made out like bandits. That's what Rob was so ticked off about earlier.
I heard.
I think you can still hear Rob yelling about the big, beautiful bill.
Collins, Tillis, and Paul.
Right.
Were the ones that didn't vote.
So now the House, they've scheduled a final vote for the big, beautiful bill for tomorrow. So, again, they wouldn't schedule this vote if they didn't feel like they had the votes, which means this is on the fast track to be on Trump's desk by July 4th. Now, the things that passed through today may change a little bit. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But in addition to Rob Kendall, there are some other folks that have a big problem with the big, beautiful bill. Elon Musk is one of them. Elon Musk is ticked off. He says it adds way too much spending, and any quote-unquote Republican that ran on cutting the deficit and reducing government spending but voted for this bill, Elon Musk says he's going to do everything in his power to primary those Republicans next election cycle.
Kind of getting tired of hearing about Elon Musk. I'm kind of over it.
You know who else kind of feels that way, Nige? The old man. Donald Trump. I feel like he's about had it too. This was a post that he put out on Truth Social earlier. Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate.
Oh, boy.
And real quick context here, the EV mandate was removed, right? So no more big brakes for electric vehicles. And, of course, that affects Elon Musk and Tesla. I was strongly against the EV mandate. It's ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far. And without subsidies, Elon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would have a fortune. Perhaps we should have had Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved.
Wow. Mommy and Daddy are fighting again.
2 Christmases.
Oh, wow. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, when I was growing up, all I know is I got to do 2 Christmases.
So they're having a little back and forth.
So what, like I heard you and Rob talking today, and Rob is just apoplectic that anybody would vote for this.
He's even more miserable than usual.
The spending. Overall, this is going to make Rob's head spin. And maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, probably wrong. But I've been hearing about the debt and the deficit and how it's going to destroy this country for years. It hasn't happened. There's different things that are destroying this country right now. This bill is not one of them. And the tariffs, hopefully, are going to offset anything in the spending block here.
But I do think it's the hypocrisy that gets people like Rob Kendall, Elon Musk fired up.
I understand that.
You can't be a Republican that's smacking the desk going, the Democrats are spending too much money. Look at all this ridiculous spending. But if you look inside the big, beautiful bill, yes, there are some good things. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But there's some ridiculous stuff that got left in there. And I understand that's how compromises are made, but, taxpayer-funded surgeries, to cover children chopping off their cranks, like that was something that was pretty adamant, that was ultimately left in. And there's a number of other things. So it's the hypocrisy that's driving some people crazy.
But you mentioned taxes. The tax stuff is absolutely a necessity when we're talking about the Trump tax cuts back in 2017, a necessity. That's big. Or we would have seen, this nation would have seen the greatest tax hike in history, which would be suicide, politically anyway, right?
So I'm going to go down some bullet points.
Yeah.
Again, we don't have time to do all of the things in the big, beautiful bill because it's big. But here are some bullet points of the financial aspect, okay? Permanent extension of the 2017 Trump tax cuts, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
This makes permanent the individual income and estate tax cuts that happened in 17. No tax on tips and overtime. The Senate and the House have a little disagreeing situation going on how much or the threshold, but there will ultimately be a no tax on tips and overtime part of this bill. Child tax credit expansion. The eligibility requires Social Security numbers. So it's designed to make sure that it's American citizens that are getting the perk of this added child tax credit. Some other things here. Deductions for interest on loans for United States-made cars. So if you buy an American car, and you could qualify for a bigger deduction. For the border, $46.5 billion to complete 701 miles of primary border wall.
That's great.
900 miles of river barriers, over 600 miles of secondary barriers, and 141 miles of vehicle pedestrian barriers alongside surveillance technology.
More ICE agents, more facilities as well. It's great.
Some of the reforms here, and this is where there's a big fight between the Democrats and the Republicans. In terms of reforms, $700 billion in Medicaid cuts over 10 years, including new work requirements. This is from the Senate, by the way. 80 hours per month of work, education, or service for able-bodied adults. Food stamps. This big, beautiful bill reduces federal spending by $267 billion over 10 years by requiring states, not the Fed, states to contribute more and expand work requirements for able-bodied adults up to the age of 64. So the states have to kick in. If you want to have your citizens get food stamps, it's up to you to make sure that this country is not getting railroaded. The military, Golden Dome missile defense system, similar to what you see the Israel use. $25 billion for a Golden Dome system.
Big, beautiful Golden Dome.
$21 billion for ammo to restock the dome. $34 billion for naval fleet expansion, and $9 billion for service member quality of life improvements, which is fancy talk for better barracks or whatever you want to say for our men and women in service. A complete overhaul of air traffic control.
That might need modernization, I think.
A little bit.
You think?
American energy production.
I love this.
And the expansion of school choice nationwide.
Yeah, I mean, the energy, back to the energy production for just, I mean, we're talking millions of acres for gas and coal and nuclear energy.
Yes.
As well. So this stuff, look, yeah, I know Rob's head's spinning on this thing. I get it, and I totally understand the hypocrisy, but this kind of locks in Trump's agenda. We get this thing done.
Matt Bear standing by in the WIBC Traffic Center.
All right, fellas, looking at eastbound 465 on the north side, a little bit slow Keystone Avenue over to I-69. Southbound 6570 slows from the north split to the south split. That's because of construction, and we're delayed by 3 minutes. Hancock County, westbound 70 State Road 9 crash on the left shoulder, no delay there. Traffic sponsored by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill Aleve produces, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Got a lot of stuff going on today. Again, a big, beautiful bill passes the Senate. You got Trump and Elon fighting, and Miles Turner with, if I can use a wrestling term, has a great heel turn and joins a rival. We'll talk about that when we come back. Right now, looking at downtown Indy, it's 86 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial, retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone? But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X-Fi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Man, so Miles Turner from the Pacers, longtime fixture on the Indiana Pacers. The big man, like what, 10 years?
10 years,
That's
the longest
hard to believe.
tenured Pacer that was on that playoff roster.
Wow. Turns heel, as you said, and has gone to the rival Milwaukee Bucks, 4 years, $107 million. I don't think the Pacers really, once Miles Turner went, or I'm sorry, once Hallie went down, the whole dynamic, the whole thing changed. The whole roster you knew was going to look a lot different once Halliburton went down in that final game, man.
And it was a 4-year deal worth $107 million. Not quite what you would consider a max contract, but 4 years of Miles Turner, already 10 years deep in the league. That's a lot of years, right?
And I mean, he would have stuck around if Hallie hadn't injured himself.
Probably, but I think this was also Miles' last chance to get a big-time paycheck.
Yeah.
And I just don't know, coming off those finals, if the Pacers were willing to spend that money.
Guy could hit some threes for sure, just not in the latter
not consistently.
Not latter parts of those playoffs. He was pretty bad.
So he joins probably the biggest rival to the Pacers, the Bucks. I know we're supposed to hate the Knicks more, and maybe we hate Knicks fans more, but I think the best on-court rivalry the last couple of years has been the Pacers and Milwaukee Bucks. So the question now becomes, are the Bucks trying to rebuild? Because they released and cut Damian Lillard. He's kind of like Halliburton.
He had an Achilles thing.
Right. He's going to miss all of next year like Halliburton. But to make room and to have the money to sign Miles Turner, who was a free agent away, they cut Dame Lillard. And it sounds like that ticked off Giannis. But then he found out they were bringing in Miles Turner, so we don't know. Is Giannis happy in Milwaukee or not? As for the Pacers, they say farewell to the longest tenured dude on the roster, and we don't know if they're tanking. We don't know if they've got a few extra tricks up their sleeve. Because I will say this, man. I've got faith that Kevin Pritchard, the guy running the front office for the Pacers, will do a good job. I mean, he took a team that had won 25 games and in a span of like 3 years turned us into contenders. Made some great deals, brought in Halliburton.
Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals.
Made that Siakam trade. Like Kevin Pritchard, I got faith in him, man. So I'm going to defer to what he's thinking right now. If it's a tank year, that kind of stinks. But Pacers are now loaded with draft picks in the future. They could put something together to make a deal. But, man, I just hate that Hallie is out all next year. So now, looking at this current roster, Nige, the longest tenured Pacer, T.J. McConnell.
Wow,
T.J. McConnell has been here the longest out of anybody currently. The last time the Pacers...
Wow. I would not have guessed that. I don't know why.
Did not have Miles Turner on their roster. Like Kobe and Shaq, I think, were still on the Lakers. It's been a bit, right? It's been a while. Speaking of Indiana basketball here, we're getting some numbers. So last year, if you remember, there was a pretty nasty breakup between the Hoosiers and their head basketball coach, Mike Woodson. Technically, they allowed Mike Woodson to have a farewell tour and say that he stepped down. Narrator, before he was fired. Because he was going to be canned. It was a bad situation.
He had a couple years on his contract.
Oh, yeah. And during his time at IU, he was 82-53 in 4 seasons, but that team last year soured a lot of alumni and fans. They seemed like they cared more about the NIL money and being celebrities on campus than playing ball. And listen, this is the wrong state to have that attitude in. So something had to be changed. The culture had to be changed. So they ran the coach out. They brought in a new coach. But we just now found out what the settlement here looks like. After he, quote-unquote, stepped down with 2 years remaining on that contract, Indiana has agreed to pay Mike Woodson $6.5 million as part of the farewell settlement.
Here you go. Here's $6.5 million not to coach our team.
Which is fresh off them paying a lot more to tell Tom Allen in the football program.
That's right.
Here's money to not coach our team as well.
How much was that? 10, 15 million?
Right.
Oh, man.
IU athletics are paying a lot of zeros to coaches that they told, please don't come back anymore. But listen, it worked out for the football program.
You could rest assured that Sig, you mentioned you were going to say Coach Sig. I'm sure he's got a golden parachute, too, whenever he decides to deploy that.
Oh, man, when it's contract time for Coach Sig, you better get the Brinks truck ready. But it worked out well for the football program. Let's see if this new coach can do the same with the basketball program. They got West Virginia's coach in. They basically had to put a roster together of all new players because everybody left, right?
Out of here.
The coach's son, I believe, is going to have 1 year of eligibility. He's pretty good, so he's coming to Bloomington. Is it a tournament team? Not sure, but it feels like the program is on the right track. This dude, from everything that I've been told, is about discipline and making sure it's basketball first, being a campus celebrity second.
Right
so
on.
We'll take that. Don't go anywhere, man. We got a lot of stuff to cover today. We are having a good time. If you want to hear our pal JMV's thoughts, he's doing the afternoon show on our sports sister station, The Fan. I put a video up, our little pre-show meeting that we do in my office.
It's closed doors. It's a closed-door meeting between the three of us.
Narrator.
Yeah.
Because we drink a lot.
And I don't want Karens ratting us out. I saw those guys in there drinking alcohol. So I put some black drapes up in the office.
Hilarious.
But yeah, if you want his thoughts, you can check it out on our Twitter, our Facebook. Just look for Hammer and Nigel Show.
If you used to hear a whole lot of this, but now you can barely hear this, you need to check out RelayIndiana.com and the Caption Telephone. The Caption Telephone allows you to get your groove back when using the telephone. It uses voice recognition technology so you can read on a bright screen what the other caller is saying. Go to RelayIndiana.com and add clarity back into your conversations with the Caption Telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Why do so many basement companies want half the money up front? Could it be because it's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they don't ask for a deposit until the job is done and you're completely satisfied. They even start with a free inspection to ensure you know exactly what your home needs without the guesswork. With over 35 years experience, they've proven that trust is built on results, not deposits. Michaelis, building trust beneath your feet. Visit michaeliscorp.com.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris.
Texas!
Then it's off to Rome.
Georgia!
And you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin.
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $494 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's
History returns with the Brickyard 400 at the famed 2.5-mile oval, celebrating NASCAR's roots at the racing capital of the world. Brickyard weekend starts Thursday, July 24th with the Indiana Sprint Week race, with sprint cars running on the IMS dirt track for the first time ever. Saturday, July 26th, get ready for action with the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pennzoil 250. Then Sunday, July 27th, the NASCAR Cup Series Brickyard 400, presented by PPG, returns to the oval of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Buy now and save at IMS.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What President Trump has called the big, beautiful bill. You've still got partly cloudy skies and 86 degrees here on Monument Circle. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 3:30. Senate Republicans passed Trump's spending bill Tuesday, calling it a big win as they tried to get it signed into law. Only 3 Republicans voted no, and they are Senators Tom Tillis of North Carolina, Rand Paul of Kentucky, and Susan Collins of Maine. Indiana Senators Todd Young and Jim Banks voted to advance the bill, which now goes back to the House. The Pittsburgh International Airport is looking for people to help them get ready for their new terminal. They need 3,000 to 4,000 volunteers to reenact what opening day would look like to make the first day of the new terminal go smooth. Volunteers will pretend to be passengers and will follow scripts as they move through the terminal. Miles Turner is leaving the Indiana Pacers for the Milwaukee Bucks in a multi-million-dollar 4-year deal. For the state, this marks the end of an era. Turner has been a force on both ends of the court ever since he was drafted in 2015 and was the Pacers' longest tenured player. The deal even includes a player option for year 4 in the 2028-29 season. The Pacers have lost Turner, but face even more challenges next season, with the possibility that Tyrese Halliburton will still be out with a torn Achilles tendon. When Indiana lawmakers approved a 200% cigarette tax hike earlier this year, convenience store owners raised concerns. Ryan Hedrick has the details.
Business owners warn that the tax could push customers out of state to buy cigarettes. Still, supporters say it's a key move to discourage people from putting that stick of nicotine in their mouth. This woman told Wish TV she wants the freedom to do whatever she wants to do, but she doesn't want to pay that steep price.
Upset, mad about it. Very angry.
Starting today, Indiana's cigarette tax goes up to $3 a pack, making it higher than all its border states. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:32.
If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Seminars can help.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I had lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminar Thursday, July 31st at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, August 2nd, Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
With traffic now, here's Matt Baer.
Southbound 6570 downtown, construction delay from the north split to the south split. Eastbound 465 on the north side slows from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Southbound 465 on the east side slow after 70 down to 74 to crash Post Road at 25th on the east side. Also, fallen power cables reported east 35th Street at Leland Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly clear and, more importantly, comfortable. We'll see lows fall to about 65. Sunny skies and a beautiful day on Wednesday with highs into the mid-80s. And we crank the heat up a little bit on Thursday. Still dry, sunshine with highs into the upper 80s. I'm Wish TV storm tracking meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
'Cause I'm just a teenage dude. You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hi there, I'm Nigel. Hammer's right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
He is a former writer for The Late Show with David Letterman.
Cool.
Some of your other favorite programs, and also the badminton champion at Indiana University, your friend and my friend, Jeff Boggs. How are you, sir?
Hey, Jeff.
Oh, I'm doing great. Thanks for mentioning the badminton, and happy Alligator Alcatraz Day to all those who celebrate.
Yes. Alligator Alcatraz. I feel like we should be talking more about this. I know there's the big, beautiful bill, and Trump and Elon are having another round in their little lovers quarrel, a little tiff, but we're literally talking about an alligator Alcatraz. I like all those things.
Yeah, I think it's one of the stories that got buried, along with the guy who jumped the General Lee over a fountain in Kentucky over the weekend.
That was amazing.
I don't see how that's not a top story in the news right now. But watching Trump down at Alligator Alcatraz today, boy, he looked pretty happy. So that was exciting.
This was the facility down in Florida where they're going to house illegal immigrants and process them and deport them, right? Is this what we're talking about here?
That's exactly. And wouldn't it be great? The timing would be perfect. The first inmate at Alligator Alcatraz, P. Diddy.
We're on Diddy Watch right now, waiting to see what the jury has to say. But, listen, I'm here for Alligator Alcatraz.
I just like how it was like a ribbon cutting ceremony, like it's a shopping mall.
The only thing that could have made it better would be if Luke Bryan played a live concert surrounded by alligators, and something went horribly wrong.
Oh man!
Jeff Boggs with us, not Kenny Rogers, very popular on Twitter. Miles Turner to the Bucks. I compared this earlier, Jeff, to kind of like when Hulk Hogan came back into wrestling and he became a heel. He joined the NWO. Right. Heel turned Hogan for a Pacer player, the longest tenured player to join the Bucks, your biggest rival.
Yeah, this is a tough one because we all love Miles the person. He seems like a great guy, but I got to tell you, and we talked about this last week, it didn't make sense paying him $30 million a year for the next 3 or 4 years. You know, he's starting to fade a little bit. So what I think is great about this, it frees up a lot of cap space for us, and it allows T.J. McConnell to move back to his natural position of center.
The scrappy, undersized white guy center. It's a Disney movie in the making, isn't it?
Just do it. I think next year, if Halliburton's out, let's take a page from the Savannah Bananas and just be as entertaining as humanly possible.
Could you imagine if that was Pritchard's strategy? Well, we're taking a page out of the Savannah Bananas, and we're going with that strategy.
Do you guys think there's any chance we get Giannis in all of this?
Man, it depends on whether or not he's really ticked off. There was that report from the NBA insider for Yahoo or whoever he was that said Giannis hated the fact they did his buddy Dame Lillard dirty. Now, Lillard's out next year anyway, but they cut him. They waived him and took his money and gave it to Miles Turner. So we don't know if Giannis was ticked off before they signed Miles Turner or after, but if he is, maybe that's a problem.
Yeah, it could be. And this is another instance. It's kind of like when Andrew Luck left. We never really accepted it. I think the front office of the Colts was like, we don't know what to do for the next few years. Halliburton's out next year. So I think Pritchard is saying we have to address this. Our team is incredibly young. So let's, cut some dead weight now. I love Miles, but I didn't want him for the next 4 years.
And now T.J. McConnell is going to jump center against Chet Holmgren next year. Looking forward to it.
How awesome would that be?
Can I tell you my favorite text I recently got from Jeff Boggs? Just me and Jeff on the text. He sent me a picture of his parents. They're at their favorite place, Bubba's. I'm at lunch with my parents at Bubba's today. My mom honestly said, quote, I think you're being too hard on Nigel. And I just wrote back, that woman is a saint.
Nigel, and the thing about it was total non sequitur. We're just sitting there, we're having a nice lunch, and I could tell by my mom's face it had been bothering her a little bit. She just mentioned it, and I spit my Diet Coke out, and I'm like, I got to text somebody right now.
Was this stemming from the fact that you and I were arguing about something while Hammer was out last week, and I can't even remember what it was now, but it was the haircut thing.
You trying to get free haircuts on air by mentioning the place.
Who paid for that little lunch you were having there at Bubba's? I bet it wasn't you. I bet it was Daddy Warbucks.
My dad. My dad did.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff, you have thoughts on the big, beautiful bill that has passed through the Senate now, or the little fight between Trump and Elon?
You know, I heard you mention this earlier. I'm to the point. I'm so bored of Elon. He's like the dude at the party who was really fun for a while, and now everybody's just like, we get it. You have $2 billion. You're great at making rocket ships, but stay out of this, because unless Elon gives me a detailed plan on how he's going to start a new political party and actually get bills passed in our two-party system, I'm just not interested. And when I look at this big, beautiful bill, is it perfect? Of course it's not. Has there ever been anything in the history of our country when it comes to politics that was perfect? No. But there's so many great things in there. And for the regular folks like me and Hammer and Allison, it's gonna do a whole lot of good for us right now. So I'm excited about it. The other big thing that keeps getting missed, everybody keeps bringing up how much this is going to add to the national deficit. And I know, you have people on your station screaming about it, saying, no, no, no. All the people, the CBO, the Congressional, the Congressional Budget Office, all of their numbers don't even take into account how much the tariffs are going to bring in. They don't take into account how much not letting half of El Salvador walk across our border is going to save us. So I'm going to go ahead and trust Trump for a while, because I believe the stock market just hit another all-time high, and say, let's pass this. Let's put our best effort into it and keep going.
I feel like they're going to have frivolous spending no matter what we do. If I woke up tomorrow and either they passed or didn't pass the big, beautiful bill, my life was going to be pretty much the same. I'm coming into work, I'm going to do this show, and I fully expect everybody in Washington to waste a crap ton of money.
The only thing that would have changed if they didn't pass it was Trump's tax cuts for 2017. Which I call it a political suicide if that would have happened.
I agree, Nigel. And again, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but for Hammer, Allison, and myself, those tax cuts mean something. So
right. The elitists that live in gated communities up in Zionsville.
Oh my God! Here we go. I'm gonna flip out.
Nigel's going to spend the 4th of July at a pool party with the Paganos.
Right.
I am not.
The Paganos, retired NFL players, they're going to be there, right?
He's got this thing. Boggs has this thing where, because Rob gave me a ride home after the bowling charity event, I pointed out where Chuck Pagano lived.
Yes.
But not anywhere near where I live. I just said Chuck Pagano lived there in that neighborhood.
But true or false, one of the buddies that came to the bowling event was a former Indianapolis Colts player.
Yes.
Okay.
So what does that mean?
Nigel, are you able to see the Irsay estate from your porch?
If I go out of the roof with my binoculars, yes, I can see very well.
Jeff, before we let you go, are you a big 4th of July guy? Are you firework guy? Are you putting Roman candles in your anus or doing anything like that?
Hammer, I'm with you on this one. I love blowing stuff up. I saw your kind of commercial that you put on Twitter at the fireworks store. That was awesome. I cannot wait to get out there and start lighting things on fire. But before I go, I do have one 4th of July safety tip for everyone out there. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. regardless of what Katy Perry says, you are not a firework, so please be careful.
Do not put fireworks on your person.
Exactly.
Got it. Find him on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it these days, not Kenny Rogers. Follow him, stalk him, love him. He is Jeff Boggs. Jeff, I will talk to you on Thursday as you come in here for Big Nige, who will probably be vacationing with the Ursay daughters.
Yes. All right. Hey, thank you, Hammer, and thank you, Allison, for having me on. See you guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
For complete offer details.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP $105,195. Nautilus MSRP $60,195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out a variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
Guys, Hammer and Nigel here. Don't live with tiredness and low energy. Get your life back with testosterone therapy at Low T Center. Take the test, get fast results, and start TRT with Indianapolis's leading experts in men's health.
Now it's easier than ever with the new Synergen X Health app, an innovation in healthcare technology you won't find anywhere else. Download right now or book an appointment while the test is still free at fixmylowt.com. fixmylowt.com.
Stay near home with Home Court Advantage for your heart. Rated #1 in Indiana 2 years in a row by Health Grades. Franciscan Health offers top-rated cardiac care because every heartbeat is extraordinary. Learn more at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
I was seriously injured. It was definitely somebody's fault, and I didn't actually know who, so I needed to call someone. I was really happy to have a law firm like Hensley that had ethics. I made the best call.
It happens. Hire Hensley.
A diagnosis of Alzheimer's can make it a struggle to communicate with loved ones. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I've got a tip which often helps that will be music to your ears. Don't go away.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
A growing number of studies show the power of music's role in those living with Alzheimer's. The next time a loved one seems to be tuned out, gently place headphones on them or simply turn on one of their favorite songs. Watch their eyes light up and don't be surprised if they sing along or start chatting about the tune. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
If you're pressed for time, the WIBC Mashup Podcast is your shortcut to the smartest, sharpest, and strangest moments on air. It's the best content from Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Updated daily. Find the WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Matt Bear, what are we looking at?
Downtown construction delay, southbound 6570, north split to the south split. It's delayed 4 minutes, and southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic before 21st to Meridian Penn. Northwest side, southbound 65 slows at 865, the dogleg to West 86th Street. Northeast side, eastbound 465 stop-and-go traffic from Keystone Avenue to Allisonville Road. Crash east side, Post Road at 25th. Crash southeast side at Southeastern Avenue south of Washington Street, reported as a hit and run. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
coming up here a little bit after 4 o'clock, right after the news at 4, some high-profile legal stuff. We're waiting for a verdict in the Diddy trial. We've got updates from Idaho, and we'll also have a very special reason for you to drink tonight.
Oh.
That's coming up a little bit after 4 o'clock.
Didn't know you needed a reason.
86 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Let's crank up a little booze news.
You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. 1 by 1.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Hammer and Nigel present
Booze news, booze news. Time for booze. Man, a woman in Wisconsin got distracted while eating Taco Bell. Rear-ended a cop at 60 miles an hour.
Ooh.
And police say there weren't any signs that she was driving under the influence, but who knows?
She was just that into the Taco Bell that she had ordered and had it going 60, but couldn't pay a single bit of attention to the road because of the chalupa in her face.
She was trying. I know they were saying maybe there's probably no alcohol. She's trying to soak up that alcohol, right? I mean, that's what you do.
Not necessarily.
That's
I'm
what you
fat
do.
and eat Taco Bell. Doesn't mean I'm drunk all the time. I drive while eating Taco Bell. I'm not going to lie.
Let me just say for the record, the Taco Bell Cantina down on
downtown here, yeah,
Washington Street here is amazing. It's incredible. I love it. I could either go. Taco Bell is the only fast food app I have on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, I don't use any of the others. But the Taco Bell, I could just walk in there, and it's already paid for. I've got my debit card hooked up to it, and 2 chalupas. That's all I need. That's all I need to get me through the day, 2 chalupas.
But if somebody's never been to the cantina, what makes that different?
Because it's multi-tiered, multi-level. It's got all, and it's open until 3 a.m., and they serve alcohol. There's live music.
That's the key. They serve alcohol.
So you can have a nice Corona while you're, Taco Tuesday or whatever.
Maybe a margarita if you want. Sure. They've got a bartender in there. And, there's one on the Vegas Strip I love. They got like the frozen daiquiri machines all up there, plus a bartender that can make you up whatever house drink that you want. And you can also get a Mexican pizza or some burritos too, man. Listen, I am a Taco Bell enthusiast. And we always talk about good customer service. The one by my house off of Kentucky Avenue, that area, it's always been great. Like, they usually get the order right, and the service is usually pretty good.
Okay. All right. I'm down.
Now, some of the other places around there,
I've never had a bad experience with the Taco Bell Cantina downtown.
Okay. Sometimes you got to step over a bum to get there. But
that's worth it.
But it's worth it.
And you know what? Maybe one day I'll be a nice guy and hand him one of the. I do the combo, the 2 chalupas and a hard taco. Usually comes with a regular taco. Sometimes I'll give the hard taco away.
You know that the bum could go in there and get a job if he wanted to, right, Nigel? He's literally laying outside of a business district. You're giving him what he wants, something for free. Yeah. You're the problem.
I'm the problem. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll gladly bear that burden of feeding the homeless.
Are they really homeless though? The real homeless are the people under the bridges and stuff. The people you see on the overpass, and a lot of these people you see downtown, they just don't want to get a job. And I hate to be the negative guy here, but look at all the places that they could go and work. If you can have a sign that says, "Help me, I'm hungry," you can probably go down any one of these restaurants and say, "Do you need help in the dishwasher room?"
And get free food.
And get free food, right. I hate being such a cynical a-hole, but there are options available.
Yeah, I used to skim off the top so bad when I worked at Burger King when I was 16.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Just throw in an extra chicken tender here and there.
Okay.
And, set it off at the side. While nobody's looking, just put that sucker right in my mouth.
The pizzas I used to take home from the hut, man. Oh, yeah. Perfect. All this talk about Taco Bell, though, brings us to great moments in Taco Bell history.
Is there such a thing?
This was a situation, I believe, in Philadelphia, where there was a dispute about somebody cutting in front of the other person in the drive-through line.
Are one of you guys going to move? Somebody cutting in front of somebody, taking advantage of the situation. No, I'm not. I'm calling the police because what you did is... Oh, my God, it's Taco Bell. It's Taco Bell. Like, everyone's going to eat. But how she just going to cut in front of somebody? It's not worth your energy.
Imagine being in that line, Nige. And
I'd love it.
Would you?
Yeah. I'd have my phone out just like everybody else.
Would you rather be in that line or this situation, I believe, in Atlanta, where there was a big, long line backed up? People didn't know what was going on.
It wasn't moving.
Turns out the car at the window ordered a ridiculous amount of tacos and didn't give them any heads up.
Oh, my God. Yo, the reason this line is so long because this ordered $300 worth of tacos and didn't give Taco Bell no heads up. $300 worth of tacos. That's like 100 tacos.
So which line would you rather be in?
I wanted the other one with all the honking going on and people physically arguing. That'd be brutal stuck in a line.
I'm surprised I wasn't behind that individual getting 100 tacos.
Man, I was in Vegas for a wedding in 2008, and at the after party, we were all hungry. They didn't really have any food. I stuck down to I think I was at the MGM Grand, ordered 100 double cheeseburgers.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was the hero. I brought it back up to the party, and
hell
everybody
yeah,
was
you were.
down. And I don't know, it cost me $100 because they were only $1. They were running some special. But I was the hero. But they weren't expecting an order for 100 double cheeseburgers, that's for sure.
Not all heroes wear capes. My man. Do not go anywhere. Top stories and some legal stuff next.
Have recent storms caused damage to your roofing or siding? Cochran Exteriors is now offering free inspections to assess the condition of your home. From blown-offs to full replacements, Cochran Exteriors knows the insurance process and will make your home as good as new as fast as possible. Trust a company that was here before the storm and will be long after. For your free, no-obligation consultation, schedule today at CochranExteriors.com or call 317-ROOFING. Cochran Exteriors, referred for a reason for over 15 years.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
If your air conditioner is barely hanging on, don't wait for it to fail in a heat wave. Upgrade now with a new energy-efficient system from B&W. Join thousands of Hoosiers who trust us to keep their families cool and comfortable. Get a free estimate today at bplusw.com or call 317-214-0108.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Pat Sullivan here with Michaela of Michaelis. If you have water damage, why should you call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. On call 24/7, 365. We are IICRC certified and will restore your space to pre-loss condition or better. And we work through the entire insurance process on your behalf to make it easy.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joiner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joiner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana, and the best place to start is joinerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joiner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joiner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joinerhomes.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from Technology Recycler Studios. What is new not only for the Indiana Pacers, but for another team? You'll find out what that is here soon. There's also a new parental law for the state and the amount of people killed in Indianapolis in 2025. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis. It is 4 o'clock.
The president sends a message. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. In a new post, he's urging House Republicans to stay united after the Senate passed a revised version of the bill that would advance key parts of his agenda. But it needed a tiebreaker from Vice President J.D. Vance after 3 Senate Republicans joined all Democrats voting against it.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer wasn't able to stop the major tax and spending package from passing the Senate, but was successfully able to remove the formal name of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act and name it the Act.
I didn't even think of President Trump. I thought of the truth. This is not a beautiful bill. Anyone who loses their health insurance doesn't think it's beautiful.
The White House and Republicans supporting the bill say extending the 2017 tax cuts and deductions on tips and overtime will be a major boost to the economy that will bring relief to working Americans.
Fox's Ryan Schmel is on Capitol Hill. The president says Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security are being strengthened, not cut, despite estimates that more than 11 million Americans could lose health coverage.
They had a tough stance and a weak stance. They took not a very strong stance on that to start off, and it's waste, fraud, and abuse, and everybody wants that covered.
Some House Republicans concerned about spending levels and debt plan to push back on changes made in the Senate to win Republican votes there, but a House vote could come as soon as tomorrow. President Trump says he's not planning to extend the July 9th deadline for countries to negotiate trade deals with the U.S.
Most of the countries will see snapback tariffs. The Treasury Secretary is saying that most of the tariffs will come back to the level of April 2nd when that was announced for those reciprocal tariffs.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence at the White House. The president also telling reporters again he now doubts a deal will be made with Japan, which he says could face a higher tariff on imports than previously announced. A mixed start to July on Wall Street. The Dow up 400 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What's new with the Indiana Pacers and another NBA team? You've still got 86 degrees and partly cloudy skies here in downtown Indianapolis. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Pacers center Miles Turner made a multi-million-dollar 4-year deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. This marks the end of an era for the franchise's longest tenured player. Turner was drafted by the Pacers in 2015 and has spent all 10 of his seasons in Indiana. He was recruited as part of the Bucks, and the Pacers will have to face that challenge. You may also remember Pacer guard Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Head coach Rick Carlisle says Halliburton is likely to be out the whole upcoming season. Parents wanted to see new protection when it comes to their rights. Jonette Cruz has more.
A new Indiana law is redefining the boundaries between the state and families, aiming to prevent government overreach in parental decisions. A new Senate bill authored by State Senator Liz Brown is now in effect, fundamentally reinforcing parents' authority. The legislation was enacted specifically to create a clear layer of protection against perceived government intervention in how parents raise their children. This law ensures parents have more direct control over crucial decisions regarding their children's health, education, and religious upbringing. Jonette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Over 70 killed in Indianapolis this year, many cases still unsolved. Here's Ryan Hedrick.
About 60% of these murder cases are still open, the violence touching every neighborhood in the city. Some of the victims were kids, including a 14-year-old named Deandra Staples, who was shot in January. Still no arrest in her case, but in the case of a 2-year-old named Skylar Gardner, she was killed, and police did arrest a woman in that case. Reporting from downtown Indianapolis, Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Are you going to the Indiana State Fair this year? The fair is hosting the Taste of the Fair, which has 40 different foods and drink options. Starting August 1st, you can find interesting food items such as a jalapeno popper pizza. Ever heard of that before? The State Fair will run for 15 days starting August 1st once again, but it is closed on Monday. You can find more information on WIBC.com. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
You've got traffic at 4:05. How are things looking out there, Matt Bear?
Downtown, southbound 65, 70 jammed up from the north split to the south split because of construction, delayed by 3 minutes. Southbound 65, stop and go traffic 21st down to west. Eastbound 70 stopped Belmont into the south split, delayed 12 minutes. It's a stall on the north side, eastbound 465 at Keystone Avenue. Right lane closed, slow down as you make your way through there. Crash southwest side, Kentucky Avenue at Harding Street. Crash east side, Post Road at 25th, and a crash on the southeast side, Southeastern Avenue at Shelby. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Expect the coolest night since the night of June 20th and also the first night in the 60s since then. We'll see numbers fall down to the mid-60s for what should be a nice, mild night overall. And then we'll turn around and have another warm Wednesday with a little bit of humidity, but not overly miserable, with plenty of sunshine to go around. High temperatures in the upper 80s for Wednesday afternoon. Thursday will be peaking close to 90. Some spots, in fact, may hit 90 on Thursday with plenty of sunshine to go around once again as well. I'm Wish TV Star Trek ABD meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 83 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock! Well, should we just get right into it? Allison, are we able to just press that button? We got some high-profile legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges. Legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
So we are on verdict watch when it comes to Nigel's old buddy, Diddy.
Hey, Diddy, can I get a pick? No.
Nah. Jury still deliberating in the Diddy trial. Again, Sean Diddy Combs, 55, charged with 5 counts, 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts each of sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution. They had dropped some other charges that were thrown on top. Now, if found guilty of the most serious charges, he could face life in prison. Now, the update that we have here is that the jury has been sending notes to the judge. Yesterday, the jury had a question about one of the jurors.
There's a problem juror.
Right.
Amongst them.
So they said, hey, what's the protocol here if this guy over here, this juror, doesn't want to go by the rules. So that was yesterday. Today, the jury asked the judge for transcripts of a couple different parts of the testimony, including one of the victims' testimonies about this 2016 Intercontinental incident. So the jury has questions about testimony. They have questions about another juror. They are still in deliberation.
Sounds like they're annoyed with a juror.
Yes.
You kind of had that same thing happen when you were picked to be on a jury of a high-profile murder case in this county, right?
Correct.
Like the guy wasn't paying attention to the law.
He didn't want to buy the law. So we had a situation where it was two guys that were charged with a murder here in Indianapolis. One guy was the actual trigger man, and the other guy was an accomplice, but then fled the scene with stolen goods. Well, the way the law works is, yes, the trigger man is charged with murder.
Sure.
But if you're with somebody who's committing a murder and you don't stop him and you're taking part in it, you also get charged with murder. It may be a lesser count, but you get charged with murder. We had a guy on our jury, and he was a teacher at Warren Central that kept saying, well, if this guy didn't do it, I can't send a young black man to jail for the rest of his life.
That's not a choice. That's not a choice you have.
Preach.
It's the law. It's what it is, man.
And it was in the entire room against this guy. And we had, again, pretty diverse jury pool. We had women, we had dudes, we had black people, we had white people. There was a couple Hispanics in our mix. I mean, we were the speed bus, right? We had pretty much everybody in there. But this teacher at Warren Central, I can't send a young black man to prison if he didn't pull the trigger. Well, you don't understand the law, and I pray for your students at Warren Central. So there are alternates that have been in the courtroom that are standing by, that if this juror doesn't want to abide by the rules, the judge has the prerogative to kick him out.
In the Diddy trial?
Yes.
Are we missing a nickname? Did he go by Puffy at one point?
He was
Sean
Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy. That's
Puff
what
Daddy, and then P. Diddy, and then just Diddy. Right. And in a great South Park episode, P. Papa Diddy. So that is one high-profile legal situation we're keeping an eye on. Number two, the Idaho killer, Brian Kohberger. He's agreed to plead guilty to all counts of that horrific murder.
Yeah, murders.
Four people, college students, back in 2022. So I guess his legal team sent these letters to the victim's family saying, we're going to avoid the death penalty with this plea, and we will be accepting 4 consecutive life sentences. Well, this didn't go over real well with the victim's family. They wanted the death penalty, not just one family, multiple. And it sounds like all of the family members are ticked off here.
Oh, we're just going to save ourselves the trouble. We could probably convict this guy, no problem, but we don't really want to go through the expense of a long, drawn-out trial, so we'll just plead. We'll just plead it down to life in prison, and we don't care what the families say.
There shouldn't be a plea deal in a quadruple grisly murder.
No.
There shouldn't be a plea deal there. No. And don't tell me the death penalty doesn't deter anybody. Well, it seemed like it deterred Mr. Kohberger here because he didn't want to face the death penalty.
I've always said I don't care if it deters people or not. That's not the point of the death penalty, is if it deters people. It could be an aspect. It could be one aspect. I don't care if it deters you or not. If you do a heinous act, murder 4 people in their sleep, you deserve to die. I don't care if you're scared to die or not. You don't need to be on this earth anymore. You're eliminated. You're done. You had your shot. I don't care if it deters you or not. It's not an argument to me.
Is it about justice or not? That's the question.
Exactly.
And these 4 individuals and their families, they feel like they're not getting justice here. There was a story on NBC News this morning, and this was a pretty damning story. The family members were talking to NBC. They're pissed off about this. One of the dads of a young lady that lost her life in this murder spoke on camera, and some others didn't want to appear but told the reporter. Take a listen to how they feel about this plea deal.
How can you say it's just when you haven't even talked to us to see what justice looks like for us?
The Idaho Statesman reporting that prosecutors wrote a letter to families with details of the plea deal, which would remove the death penalty possibility in exchange for Koberger pleading guilty to the 4 first-degree murder charges and an additional charge of felony burglary. According to the Statesman, the letter said, "This resolution is our sincere attempt to seek justice for your family." Kaylee Gonzalez's sister Aubrey calling the timing weeks before the trial, quote, both shocking and cruel, adding that if he spends life in prison, Koberger would still get to speak, form relationships, and engage with the world.
Right.
Meanwhile, our loved ones have been silenced forever. The family saying they told prosecutors they were, quote, a hard no on a plea deal, but were informed via email that it was moving ahead 2 days later. Steve Gonzalez describing a later meeting with prosecutors.
They told it it's not really about us. It's about their process. Just shut up and get on board and deal with it. That's really what they told us.
Xana Kernodle's aunt telling TMZ that her family also wanted to go to trial, adding that prosecutors said they wanted to spare the families from the pain of a trial, including gruesome photos. But Kim Kernodle saying, "We know the graphics. They were not trying to spare us." The families now facing an abrupt end to their quest for justice.
Sickening. Absolutely sickening.
I know you're an extreme, really pro-death penalty. I'm pro-death penalty, but you always have the caveat that if the family doesn't want to proceed with the death penalty for their victim's assailant, then you're okay with that as well.
Yes. It's always up to the victim's family, for sure. I agree with that 100%.
Go to trial. Now, it's one thing if the prosecutors didn't think they could win a trial. It's one thing, but it sounds like, this guy's pleading guilty.
His DNA was on the knife that they found at the scene.
Yeah.
There are cameras and, cell phone pings that tie him to the scene of the crime. Why is there a plea deal here? That's disgusting.
Ugh.
Nige, after that story, I don't know about you, but I need a reason to drink tonight. How about this? Happy 64th birthday to one of the great athletes this country has ever seen, former track and field Olympic champion Carl Lewis.
Oh, also one of the greatest singers, Star Spangled Banner singers we've ever seen. Right?
Nine out of his 10 Olympic medals are gold.
Yeah.
He's 64 years old today.
Wow, 64.
And as mentioned, here was the national anthem that for some reason he was asked to sing before a then New Jersey Nets versus Chicago Bulls NBA game.
Oh, say, can you see? And the Rockets, red flag. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'll make up for it now. For the land of the free.
Oh, man. I'll never forget when that happened. Charlie Steiner was the ESPN SportsCenter anchor at the time.
Right.
Kind of like a fatter guy, had a beard. He was laughing so hard he was crying. I think he's like the radio or TV play-by-play for the Dodgers now, but he was almost hyperventilating laughing at Carl Lewis. Matt Baer, what's up?
All right, fellas, looking at the west side, and we have police activity on this exit from southbound 465 to Sam Jones Expressway. The right lane is blocked right now. The ramp is open. Just be careful as you make your way by. West side, eastbound 70 jammed. Belmont Avenue into West Street. That's a delay of 12 minutes. Inbound 65 slows 21st to Meridian Penn. Southbound 65, 70 jammed. North split to the south split because of construction, delaying us about 4 minutes. Crash southwest side. This is Kentucky Avenue at Harding Street. Crash on the southeast side, Southeastern Avenue at Shelby Street. South side, eastbound 465 stop-and-go traffic before Keystone Avenue to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Have you ever laughed at an inappropriate time and couldn't control your laughter?
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you think about that. I know I have.
Absolutely.
I have, and it is embarrassing. Can I just real quick, 30 seconds? I was at a we arrived late to a wedding. Me and my buddy, we were drinking beforehand. Arrived late, so we had to sit in front. You usually sit in back. Like, we had to sit right in front. And I don't know what the comment was. Something happened during the procession, like the wedding song or something. They're up there, and my buddy leaned over and said something to me in my ear, and I can't repeat it. But I started heaving, and you have to remember, I'm sitting up in front, so there's everybody behind me. I was like shaking. My hand I mean, my whole body was convulsing, and then afterwards, one of the girls that was behind me said, "Nigel, you must have got very emotional during that wedding. I saw you crying." That is not a joke.
I just love these people.
It's
so good. Oh, we all have that buddy.
I know, man.
We all have that buddy.
He said that comment to me, and he just kind of sat back and looked at me and watched me lose it. He didn't. Oh, I'll never forget that.
And if you don't know who that buddy is, you're the buddy.
Yeah, that's it.
85 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream. A sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at Needler's Fresh Markets and Walgreens.
I'm a grandson, a son. I'm an employee and a mentor. I'm a father to 2 beautiful kids and a husband to an amazing wife. And I have a substance use disorder. In other words, I'm living in recovery with an addiction. And now that you know, will you let it change how you see me? It's okay to see my addiction, but I want you to know it's people choosing to see me as a person that changed my life.
See the person, not just their disease. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Home sales are good, just not great. So many homes have been properly marketed or just sitting on the market. Hiring the wrong sales agent will cost you time and money. Hire the expert who maximizes equity and sells fast. That's Mark Dietel. Maybe you want a fast, guaranteed home sale, but you don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Just pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Kevin and Angela in Greenwood said the big home was too much, and it was time for Dad to move into a maintenance-free community, but we needed cash from the home to fund the change. We reached out to the Mark Dietel team, who helped with the entire process, from selling belongings to prepping the home for maximum value. We went on the market and sold for $5,000 over asking price in less than 7 days. Call the local Indianapolis agent, trusted and recommended, the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel, 317-755-4232. Get all the details or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
At Advent, we help sleep apnea sufferers avoid the CPAP machine by getting your nose and throat working with our unique Advent approach that you won't find elsewhere.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed, a program presented by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana. Reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. Fast, easy, and free to search at indianaunclaimed.gov.
So if you're short on a little cash, maybe check out Indiana Unclaimed. See if you got a little something laying around. It's free to check out. What are you waiting for? How about this? A TikTok influencer from New Jersey has stirred up some controversy after taking her 7-year-old daughter to get a spray tan. 7. Here is the video that she put out.
Come get a spray tan with us. Giada's going to get her first ever spray tan today from her aunt. So mind your business. It's just sugar and water,
No, this is nothing. Who cares? I mean, it might be different if it was like a real tanning bed or something like that, but it's spray tan.
How is it any different than kids putting finger paint on their face or their
right? I'd much rather my kid, if they were going to go tanning, do spray tan than do they still have tanning beds? Do people still lay in tanning beds?
Oh yeah, there's a dude in Greenwood that was found dead in one at a Planet Fitness not that long ago.
That's right. Holy God Almighty!
With an ankle monitor, by the way.
Oh yeah, and they couldn't find him for a couple days, and a stink started to emit.
There are so many things wrong with that story. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, there's a stinky smell coming from the tanning beds. 1, I thought they were supposed to be cleaned every night. And number 2, clearly the ankle monitor system doesn't work as well as we think it does if they couldn't find somebody who was wearing one. That seems to be problematic.
Very problematic. Yeah.
Is this anything? A little girl on a Disney cruise ship fell overboard this weekend.
Oh, I saw. Did you see this?
But her dad immediately jumped overboard into the water to save her. He apparently had to tread water for 20 minutes while holding on to her before a lifeboat showed up. 20 minutes. Here's a witness talking about how it went down.
He couldn't get to the life preservers because he was holding on to his daughter. The ship was moving so quickly. It's crazy how quickly the people became tiny dots in the sea, and then you lost sight of them.
It looks like it was the mother because they were escorting her across the deck. They blocked off the deck, and I just saw her crying, and I just felt for her at that moment, and I just started praying.
That was a very heroic thing that he did.
Everyone was cheering on the ship, and the quick response of Disney made a big difference.
Yeah, is there any dad that wouldn't jump off a cruise ship to save their daughter that had fallen off?
Right.
Wow. Yeah, hero. This is something for sure. I think we had a tragedy from a family from Indiana that was on a Royal Caribbean cruise 5 years ago. Awful. A grandfather was actually charged with negligent homicide after his 1-year-old granddaughter fell from a cruise ship in Puerto Rico.
It was
they were from
port
Indiana.
window or something.
Yeah. Fortunately, this ended up drastically different, but in the ocean, jumping off a car. I was looking. I don't know how far. I couldn't find out how far of a drop that was, but those cruise ships are huge.
Right, and you heard that one witness say, the boat's moving really fast. You start seeing these people go further and further in the distance.
Yeah.
The fear of being stranded in the middle of the ocean starts to really sink in there.
Tread water for 20 minutes holding on to her before a lifeboat showed up.
Now that everybody's going to be okay, the dad has the leverage in this relationship for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life, he doesn't have to hear, go cut the grass. He doesn't have to hear, you just sat around and drank beer all day. He's got the leverage in this relation. Oh, Allison, don't shake your head at me.
Well, we don't know if it was the dad's fault to begin with. He may have been the one supposed to be watching her.
Okay, fine.
We don't know the whole story. So glad they're okay, though.
So the mom comes by. I leave her with you for 5 minutes, and my baby ends up in the ocean. Fine, you got it. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Man, if you think you're too busy to exercise and be healthy, I did too 7 years ago, and then I started training at Exercise Inc. You go once a week for your private 20-minute workout. Also, you can adopt the 9 simple habits you need to follow to change your health and lose weight. Then you can enjoy life because you're going to be stronger. I have more energy. This program has helped me lose weight. My clothes fit different. And it's private studios. No mirrors, no music, no spandex. Just you and your coach. There's never more than 3 or 4 clients in there at a time. And best of all, it's once a week for 20 minutes, getting your body, your muscles, the movement, and the strength they need. There are 5 locations now. They're all over town. Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers. ExerciseInc.com. ExerciseInc.com. Change your life in 20 minutes a week with Exercise Inc. And tell them Nigel sent you.
Trump country is booming. We're building, hiring, and winning in Indiana because energy tax credits put America first, bringing manufacturing jobs home and creating a stronger middle class.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. More production at home will mean stronger competition and lower prices for consumers.
And America's comeback depends on American energy. Senator Young, keep what works. Don't repeal energy tax credits. Paid for by Built for America.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It has happened. Still partly cloudy and 86 degrees here in downtown Indy. Lows in the mid-60s tonight. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 4:30. Senate Republicans passed President Trump's big, beautiful bill Tuesday. Out of the votes, only 3 Republicans voted no, including Senators Susan Collins of Maine, Rand Paul of Kentucky, and Tom Tillis of North Carolina. Indiana Senators Todd Young and Jim Banks voted yes to move that bill forward. And it sounds like things are a bit tense in the jury room for Sean Diddy Combs' trial. Here's Fox's CB Cotton with more.
Several pieces of transcription were given to jurors who sent a note that asking to review key pieces of witness testimony from Diddy's ex-girlfriend and accuser, Cassie Ventura, and male escort Daniel Phillips. So both sides and the judge went back and forth for a few hours to decide how to respond to jurors who asked to read Cassie's testimony about what took place between her and Diddy at the Cannes Film Festival, what happened between her, Diddy, and male escort Daniel Phillips, and her testimony related to Diddy assaulting her at a Los Angeles hotel in 2016, the brutal beating captured in disturbing hotel surveillance video.
The Indiana Pacers are losing center Miles Turner. That's because he made a 4-year deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Turner was the Pacers' longest tenured player on the roster. He has spent his last 10 seasons in Indiana and has been a force for the team on both ends of the court. Turner led the team in blocks twice in his career, and he was recruited as part of the Bucks' effort to also recruit Giannis Antetokounmpo. At the closing bell today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished up 400 points to 44,494. The S&P 500 was down 6 points to 6,198, and the Nasdaq went down 166 points to 20,202. This has been your WIBC's Money Update, and you are 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:32.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
You've got WIBC traffic. Here's Matt Bear.
South side of stall, eastbound 465 between Harding and South Meridian Street. The entrance ramp partially blocked right now coming off Harding, but it is open. Eastbound 465, south side, pockets of stop-and-go traffic from the White River past I-65. West side of stall, it is southbound 465 at Sam Jones. Actually, this is just police activity here blocking the right lane of the exit ramp. The ramp is open. Slow back to Washington Street. Southbound 65 stop-and-go traffic 21st to west, and southbound 65-70 jammed up because of construction. North split to the south split. Eastbound 70 stop-and-go from west into the south split. Crash southwest side, Kentucky Avenue, Harding Street. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We'll see numbers fall down to the mid-60s for what should be a nice, mild night overall. And then we'll turn around and have another warm Wednesday with a little bit of humidity, but not overly miserable, with plenty of sunshine to go around. High temperatures in the upper 80s for Wednesday afternoon. Thursday will be peaking close to 90. Some spots, in fact, may hit 90 on Thursday, with plenty of sunshine to go around once again as well. I'm Wish TV Star Trek AVD urologist Stephen Deanna from 83 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Am I looking at this right, Hammer? We got a good old-fashioned chopper presser.
Oh, baby!
Oh, man, I didn't see anything about a chopper presser today. I must have missed this.
This was before the old man went down to Florida for the alligator Alcatraz.
The ribbon cutting?
Correct.
Like he's opening a new Kohl's.
It's the exact same thing.
Like a new strip mall. He's ribbon cutting where they're going to house 5,000 illegal immigrants to deport them.
Correct. And if they try to escape, there's like an alligator-infested, snake-infested area where it's supposed to eat the perpetrators.
Now, what if somebody doesn't know what a chopper presser is? Because we had one in
Right.
It's been Biden for the past 4 years.
Yeah, we had one recently, but the old man used to do these all the time. But they've been few and far between lately. A chopper presser is when Donald Trump's getting ready to board Marine One to go somewhere, and they fire that engine up, and it's really loud, and the press is assembled, and nobody can hear anything.
Mr. President, are you going? What is it cruel to take illegal immigrants to alligator Alcatraz?
Say it.
Is it cruel to risk the lives of immigrants?
I can't hear you. There's a helicopter that's raging back here.
What are the environmental impacts of alligator Alcatraz?
You've got an accent and I can't understand you.
Oh, man. If you had a thick foreign accent and you were in that press pool during the chopper presser, you had no chance.
No, none.
You barely have it if there's not a chopper in the background.
Right.
I've heard him say to people before, yeah, I don't know what you just said. Next question.
Right.
He's not being mean. He can't understand what they're saying if you have a thick foreign accent.
And the best part is when he has to explain to the press pool that there's a helicopter as the reason why it's loud.
Say it louder. You have to speak up. Speak up. Talk up. You have to talk up. We have a helicopter. What'd you say? I don't hear you. What? Did I what? Did I what? Do I what? Say it again, louder. You're competing with a helicopter. Say it. 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 Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. My hearing is great, but you have a helicopter that's raging back there.
As if there's somebody in the press corps going, why can't he hear my question?
What is that sound?
Why is he playing dumb?
Oh, there it is.
Right behind you there. Giant military aircraft. About ready to take off.
At today's chopper presser, He talked about his big meeting that he's got coming up with Bibi.
Oh.
Bibi Netanyahu, Israel's leader. He's going to sit down and have a conversation with Donald Trump. And Trump, he wants the full ceasefire and he wants hostages released.
We hope it's going to happen, and we're looking forward to happening sometime next week. We want to get our hostages back. We want to get the hostages back.
Want to get the hostages back. This is important. And sometimes it's not even about the ones that are alive, Nige. Like the remains
you want
of
the
people.
remains, of course.
People want their loved ones back from these animals that have held them hostage and kept their remains. He was asked his thoughts on the wild New York mayoral primary where the lunatic of all lunatics may be the next mayor of New York City.
Bernie's a total nut job. I think the people of New York are crazy. If they go this route, I think they're crazy. We will have a communist for the first time, really, a pure, true communist. He wants to operate the grocery stores, the department stores. What about the people that are there? I think it's crazy.
He's a real nut job. Like when he says nut job.
I can't wait to see what happens in New York. They deserve everything they get if they vote that communist in.
It sounds like even the Democrats are starting to put like some super PAC money together to try to figure this out. Like the way that I understand this lunatic won the primary based on his people turning out and nobody else showing up for a local election.
Yes.
But when you don't do that, that's how you get stuck with Hogsett.
Yep.
That's how you get stuck with Ryan Mears. And it's how you get stuck with a communist leading the biggest city in the world. Chopper Presser today, the concept of alligator Alcatraz and what would happen if somebody were to try to escape.
I guess that's the concept. This is not a nice business. I guess that's the concept. If snakes are fast, but alligators are, we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison, how to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%, okay?
He was actually giving suggestions on how to, if an alligator's chasing you, just zigzag. Don't run in a straight line.
Right.
You got to zigzag.
He was using the hand gestures. Oh, this was a good Chopper Presser earlier today.
Oh, wow.
So, do you enjoy any movies of John Cusack, Nige? Whether it's Better Off Dead.
Better Off Dead's great.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
I've only seen that once.
Con Air.
Con Air was great. And then Say Anything.
Say Anything.
That was a romantic movie from my childhood where he's standing there with the boombox.
Was he in Empire Records, or am I thinking of somebody else? Maybe somebody else.
You're thinking of the other record store movie with Jack Black.
Yes.
Now I can't think of it. Somebody on the YouTube chat help us out there. But yeah, that movie was real good. Yes.
So he's a super crazy leftist.
Crazy.
But I will always watch Hot Tub Time Machine when it's on. I'll always watch Better Off Dead when it's on. But he's a nut. He did some podcast where he said that he's rooting for Iran to get nukes so they can protect the Middle East from the United States and Israel, Nige.
He has no, I mean, just saying that has no clue about anything in the Middle East.
Nothing.
I could at least sit here and have an intelligent conversation.
High Fidelity, by the way. Thank you, Jacob.
High Fidelity, yes, that was a great movie. And I would still watch it to this day, even though he said Iran wants nukes so they can protect themselves to the United States. I mean, that shows you how much he really knows about anything.
Which is nothing.
They've threatened. They say when we get nukes, we're going to annihilate Israel, a United States ally.
Right.
We'll send them over to the United States if we can.
And saying that stuff out loud probably makes people like John Cusack feel like they're progressive, feel like they're in the little liberal inner circle. Do you really understand the ramifications of the world's largest state sponsor of terror? People who chant death to America if they had access to a nuclear weapon.
But North Korea has nuclear weapons. What about them? Dude, Fat Boy is running scared.
He's been awful quiet, hasn't he?
He saw what happened. Did you see that in North Korea created like a high-end resort? It's like a beach, like all these hotels and resorts on their beaches. Did you see the footage of that?
Kim Jong-un's son of a beach. Yeah. Coming to you soon from Hammer and Nigel Vacation Properties.
He wants people from China and Russia to come visit. It did look pretty nice, actually. But nobody's going to go over there.
No.
And visit their North Korean beaches and resorts.
We've got a partial verdict in the Diddy trial.
I'm sorry?
The jury has reached a partial verdict in the Diddy trial.
How do you reach a partial verdict?
Well, maybe that one juror just said, you know what, screw y'all. I'm not even going to give you my vote. The problematic juror, I don't know.
But we don't know what it is.
Correct. Not yet. This was just the breaking news that came across Fox News. Jury reaches partial verdict in the Diddy trial. Diddy? Can I have a pick? So we are going to wait for this. We're going to take a break, see if we can get some more information, and when we come back, we'll see if the guy that refused to take a photo with Nigel will be going to prison for the rest of his life. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial, retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joiner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joiner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana. And the best place to start is joinerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joiner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joiner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joinerhomes.com.
Pat Sullivan here with Michaela of Michaelis. If you have water damage, why should you call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. On call 24/7, 365. We are IICRC certified and will restore your space to pre-loss condition or better. And we work through the entire insurance process on your behalf to make it easy.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
We all have people in our lives we interact with. Maybe it's your favorite barista, a neighbor who waves to you every morning, a coworker you grab lunch with, or maybe it's me, the hairstylist you've gone to for years? What if you learned I had a substance use disorder? Would it change how you see me? It's okay to see the addiction, but when you choose to see the person, not just their disease, it can help change someone's life. Learn more at cbeyondtheaddiction.org.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Celebrate the 4th at Downtown Indy's 4th Fest, brought to you by UA Local 440. Groove to live music, savor tasty food, and let the kids have a blast at the Jump In Kids Carnival. Then stick around for fireworks powered by the Indiana Fever and WNBA All-Star Committee.
All right, we are awaiting the announcement of the verdict in the Diddy trial. Now, it's a partial verdict. The jury has reached a verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. The fact that they have not been able to reach a verdict on count number 1, which is the RICO charge, that's the big one, is a little interesting. Dan Abrams, some of you know him from like On Patrol Live, formerly Live PD, all that kind of stuff. He is an attorney specializing in crime. He puts on Twitter, and I'll retweet this at Hammer and Nigel, that the fact they haven't been able to find a verdict on the most serious charge, but reached verdicts on the other charges, probably is not good news for Sean Diddy Combs. Now, that's speculation. We don't know yet, but the jury has reached a partial verdict on counts 2 through 5, but not the big one, count 1, which is RICO. Matt Baer, what's up?
West side, southbound 465 to Sam Jones Expressway. Police activity on the exit ramp. The ramp is open, a little tricky right now. Inbound 65, stop and go traffic from 21st to Meridian Penn. And then the construction delay running southbound 6570 from the north split to the south split. 7-minute delay. East side, southbound 465, slow from 70 past Brookville Road. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from US 31 to I-65. Inbound 69, slows from 106th Street down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And when we hear the verdict, the partial verdict, in counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, we will certainly bring that to you here on the Hammer and Nigel show. So don't go anywhere. As a matter of fact, follow us on the YouTube chat. Chat with your fellow Hammer and Nigel listeners, the Hamroids, the Nigerians, the Allisonians. We're all right there. The YouTube cameras, the YouTube chat. It's on WIBC's YouTube channel. We need 40 people to give us a thumbs up, to give us a like. That gets us to 100. That gets the digital staff off of our ass. So if you've ever been in a position where you just want people to leave you alone in the workplace, now you know what we're going through.
So my specific fans, if anybody listens to this show and they like me better than you, they're Nigerians.
Nigerians, yes.
And the opposite for you is Hamroids.
Hamroids.
And what did we come up with, Allison, recently?
The Allisonians, I believe.
I thought it was Alice Holes.
Alice Holes?
I hate that. I hate that.
Which one?
Mostly the second one. Allisonians can be a placeholder. It's not bad.
Well,
since
you are the producer of this show, how about we call them the produce bags?
Has potential.
Has potential. Okay.
I like Alice Holes.
I know you do.
I know.
That's such a strong joke, Allison. So please jump on that YouTube chat. The digital department always yells at us, you got to drive traffic. You got to drive traffic. Hey, we drive revenue and ratings. That's what we do around here, which, by the way, moment of personal privilege here. This show was #1 once again in the latest ratings, and we blew the pants off of everybody. Those dirt bags over at JJK, beat the brakes off of them. Dirt bags at Q95, beat the brakes off of them. So thank you guys for listening to this program. Like the trolls, and you see this, Nige, the trolls will come at us. You're number one, but you're the only news talk station in the city.
Yeah.
But when we say we're number one, we're not competing against news talk stations. We're competing against literally everybody else. And we don't get the privilege of playing AC/DC songs or Guns N' Roses songs. We got to be entertaining. We got to have material. It's just us around here. So thank you so much for trusting us, for tuning in every afternoon to this big, badass, dysfunctional family that we have. We've got Matt Bear, who's the best in the business in the traffic center. Allison, who we love dearly, who we miss when she's gone. She drives the boat here. And the Hammer and Nigel show.
Well, don't forget the new guy, Jake.
Yes.
Did we mention Jake?
Jake is the new guy.
I don't even know his last name.
McDaniel.
Jake McDaniel.
Jake McDaniel. Oh, like you go Jake McDaniel like you knew his last name.
Hey, he doesn't know the station, so it's okay that we didn't know his last name yet, okay?
He was nervous. It's okay.
It's all right. We've all been there, Jake. We've made the same mistakes.
Oh, low blow, Hammer.
But, no, we're happy to have him on board, man. And we are so thankful that you guys choose to listen to this little nickel and dime pony show every single afternoon. You check it out. We laugh. We have some fun. We'll yell at some people. We'll make a few fart jokes, I'm sure, from time to time. But we appreciate you guys coming back every afternoon. Tell your friends. There's not a show like this in America.
Last night, my son had a sleepover. He had buddies over. Like there was 4 of them total. And this one kid's dad pulls up, and he gets out of the car. I happen to be out taking the dog out, we're still potty training and stuff, the puppy. And we're just sitting there talking, chit-chatting, Connor's buddies, he gets his bike out of the back of his truck. I go, and we're just talking about, what we do for a living. I go, I work in radio, WIBC. And he looks at me and he's like, Hammer and Nigel? I go, and then he kind of,
that could go one of two ways.
I go, he goes, I'll have to, I know you guys, I'll have to listen more often then. He looked at it like there was a pause there for a second, like I didn't know if he was going to tell his kid to get back in the truck. Right. But then he said, I'll have to listen to you guys more often. Yeah, I know you guys are.
You carry the water for the Republican Party, don't you?
No, he was not like that at all.
Did you storm into the White House on January 6th, too?
Not at all. I thought there was 5 seconds, though, where I was like, well, maybe, but I don't know.
Thank you guys for tuning in. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
One of the biggest differences about Indy Decorative Concrete, other than the fact that they do fantastic custom concrete patio work, the best in Indy. The other difference is they actually have W-2 employees, real concrete finishers that work for them, no subcontractors. They invest in their finishers and their employees, training and safety. I think that says something a lot about a local concrete company. Many of the same guys for years. Mario Sr.'s been there since 2009. Indy Decorative Concrete did such a fantastic job replacing my old porch and sidewalk. It gave a whole brand new look and feel to my front yard and my house. They took a basic sidewalk and porch and turned it into this custom stamped concrete area with more space and an awesome, unique look. My wife and I can't believe how amazing our new front porch and sidewalk looks. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, whatever, don't do anything until you've checked out my friends at IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Summertime's here, so get a hot summertime deal at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2024
Lincoln Nautilus. Come and see why the Roush family has served the community for over 53 years at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Navigator MSRP $105,195. Nautilus MSRP $60,195. 2025 Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251.
Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Pat Sullivan here with exciting news from my friends at Hope Plumbing, now known as Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Hope now offers plumbing, heating, and air conditioning services, bringing total comfort to your home. No more dealing with multiple home service memberships. For only $8 a month, Hope is now your one-stop for safety and maintenance inspections and so much more. Make sure you're prepared for those Indiana summer heat waves with an AC tune-up by calling Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE.
When you're high, you feel different. But if you feel different, you drive different. So don't drive high. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, the Indiana Pacers are facing an end of an era. You will find out about that here soon. Parents will want to see protection when it comes to their rights. Something pretty odd was also found somewhere in the state. You'll find out about all of this here soon. You're listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, it's 5 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. A partial verdict at the Diddy trial. I'm Lisa Brady. On day 2 of deliberations, the jury just telling the judge they have reached a verdict on 4 counts, including sex trafficking, but they cannot agree on count 1, racketeering, which carries a possible life sentence. The defense has argued all sexual encounters were consensual. They are pushing for deliberations to continue on that remaining count. The bill President Trump calls beautiful, heading back to the House after passing the U.S. Senate with a tie-breaking vote from the Vice President J.D. Vance. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries calls it dangerous.
Donald Trump's one big, ugly bill will hurt everyday Americans and reward their billionaire donors.
Jeffrey says it's the largest Medicaid cut in U.S. history and will strip health care from millions of Americans, and that everything's on the table to try to stop it. President Trump says the bill will strengthen Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security, in addition to extending the 2017 tax cuts and boosting border funding.
It's a great bill. There is something for everyone, and I think it's going to go very nicely in the House.
Some House Republicans, though, take issue with changes made by the Senate. House Freedom Caucus Chair Andy Harris says he supports the president's agenda, but calls the bill not ready for prime time.
The bottom line is now the House is going to have its say. This is not going to sail through the House. We're going to have to negotiate with the Senate one more time, and that's just appropriate. That's the way the legislative process works and the way it should work on a bill of this size.
But House Majority Whip Steve Scalise just telling Fox it's a delicate balance.
It's not as easy as saying, hey, I just want one more change, because one more change could end up being what collapses the entire thing.
He still expects a House vote tomorrow, both on the rule to advance the bill and then potentially on final passage. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why Miles Turner is leaving the Indiana Pacers. A partly cloudy sky still and 86 degrees here on Monument Circle. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 5:02. He's leaving the team for the Milwaukee Bucks and for a multi-million-dollar 4-year deal. For the state, this marks the end of an era here. Turner has been a force on both ends of the court ever since he was drafted in 2015 and was the Pacers' longest tenured player. The deal even includes a player option for year 4 in the 2028-29 season. The Pacers have lost Turner but face even more challenges next season with the possibility that Tyrese Halliburton will still be out with a torn Achilles tendon. There is a new parental law for the state. Jonette Cruz reports on that.
Parents across Indiana are now gaining new legal protections regarding their children's upbringing. State Senator Liz Brown authored Senate Bill 143, now law, which reinforces the fundamental rights of parents to make decisions concerning their children's health, education, and religion. This was deemed necessary to prevent potential government overreach, particularly from agencies like the Indiana Department of Child Services. The new law also grants parents greater access to their children's health information and explicitly prohibits the government from coercing a child to withhold information from their parents. Jonette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A human skull was found near North Cataract Road in Owen County. Deputies arrived at the scene to search the area, but no other remains were found. They figured out the skull belonged to an adult, and it has been sent to the Indiana State Police Laboratory for further DNA testing. The sights, the sounds, and now the smells. It's all coming to the Indiana State Fair next month. Jarrett Lewis has more.
The State Fair announcing this week the lineup for Taste of the Fair, presented by Pepsi. Featured are 40 food and drink items, some with a Hoosier twist, that fairgoers can taste for themselves and then vote on their favorites. The top 3 fan favorite vendors will receive cash prizes of $2,500, $1,000, and $500 respectively. You can see the full list of sweet treats and deep fried goodies at the State Fair website or in a story posted on WIBC.com. The fair starts August 1st. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
You'll be one smart cookie when you try Bluebell Cookie Cake Ice Cream. A sweet cream ice cream loaded with chocolate chip cookie cake pieces and swirls of chocolate and vanilla icing. This cookie cake ice cream really takes the cake.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at Neiman Harvest Market.
You've got WIBC traffic at 5:05. Here's Matt Bear.
North side crash westbound 465 before Ditch Road or after that 31 Meridian interchange. And this is a bad crash. We have about 4 or 5 cars I'm counting right now. 2 absolutely totaled as we look at this delay past 31 to almost to Westfield Boulevard here on westbound 465. Also looking at the northeast side, Lawrence. Stall northbound 465 at East 71st, blocking the right lane, causing slow traffic back to I-70. Southbound 65-70 stopped from the north split to the south split for a delay of 9 minutes. South side eastbound 465 after 31, a disabled vehicle blocking the center lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to I-69. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're tracking our first night in the 60s since the night of June 20th, with numbers down to the mid-60s. Then a warm and slightly humid Wednesday coming up with highs in the upper 80s with plenty of sunshine. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Well, a number of new laws now in effect here in Indiana. Hammer, the cig tax, cigarette tax, jumping up today.
Some scumbags did it yesterday.
It went from $1 to $3 or something like that. The tax, and some people have been paying it, or some gas stations have been charging it for weeks. Apparently.
Right. Now, by the way, we're awaiting the verdict in the Diddy trial for those who are just tuning in.
Yes.
If we get that, we'll let you know. But yeah, some of these gas stations and convenient stores and smoke shops, they were trying to be cute and do the new price yesterday, meaning they were pocketing the rest of the money. Because that's money that doesn't go to the state because it doesn't really officially start until today.
You could complain. I'm looking. God, who did I hear? Angela Gano from Fox 59. Quote, I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised how many of you have been so negative about people being overcharged for their cigarettes. I don't smoke, but I certainly will stand up for people to be taken advantage of. I thought we would all agree it's completely wrong for someone to not follow the law no matter what you're buying. So there's a lot of people that are saying, oh, they smoke, who cares? They're smokers, they're killing themselves. Right. No, that's not the way it works. And I agree with her totally.
Right. If you got taken to the cleaners yesterday and you still have your receipt, here's what you can do. You can go to the Attorney General's website. They have a specific area called the Online Consumer Complaint Form. The Online Consumer Complaint Form. There you can file your complaint saying, hey, this gas station here screwed me. You can also contact the Alcohol Tobacco Commission, the ATC here in Indy, and file a complaint with them. Now, I don't know if anything is going to happen. I don't know if you'll get a refund or not. But if you want to be a Karen and say, this sucks, the ATC and the Attorney General's office, the Online Consumer Complaint Form, that's how you can complain about getting screwed yesterday. Because, man, what I think is going to happen, you're going to start seeing a lot more Hoosiers driving to Kentucky, driving to Michigan, driving to other states to buy their smokes in bulk and come back here. Because this is a ridiculously high tax.
I don't know who I was watching this morning. Somebody spent, thinking they were getting the pre-tax increase, like they spent like $113 on cartons of cigarettes.
Right. So what you're going to see now, people are going to make road trips to Michigan to get cigarettes and weed and come back. Now, Illinois is still pretty high, but it's not as high as Indiana. St. Louis, regionally, if you want to make a drive, Interstate 70 to St. Louis, they've got some of the cheapest prices in the nation on smokes.
Are you serious?
Buy your smokes there, stop in Illinois, get your gummies, and come on back. Because if that's how it's going to be, if they're going to screw you, and again, this is coming from a non-smoker, but if they're going to screw you, fight fire with fire.
And some people call it a tax on the middle class.
Right.
Or lower class.
This was a package that was on our news gathering partners, Wish TV, earlier today.
I just think it's another thing to screw over the middle class, the working people. I just think it's kind of wrong. We're already paying outrageous money for everything else.
It's not right to tax people extra just because they smoke cigarettes. They say that it's because of the health care cost. So is overweight people. That's a choice too, right? But you don't see them having to pay extra money. Yeah. So fair is fair.
Upset, mad about it, very angry.
They all had voices like this. They've been smoking for a while. But I get it. No, I get it. Because are you paying extra? Maybe you are. I don't. Are you paying extra taxes on Coca-Cola? I mean, they say, oh, my dear Lord, doctors and health experts say soda is the worst thing for you on the planet. Bread, grain is awful for you.
Right.
You're going to start paying extra taxes on that?
Fast food, McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell. Like, really, who are they to dictate which vice is going to kill you faster? Right. All because the folks at the Indiana State House, predominantly Republican-led, are too chicken bleep to try to find other ways to get revenue for the state. They're scared to death of the red-shirted teachers. They're scared to death to do anything to property tax because Rod Bray and Todd Houston and all the butt sniffers that follow their lead are afraid to do anything that would be considered Republican or conservative. They're scared to death. And it's going to continue as long as Rod Bray is in charge of the Senate and as long as Todd Houston is in charge of the House. Get ready to get screwed year after year here in Indiana. Because I got news for you. Other than a few guys like Andrew Ireland and Senator Mike Young and a few others, all of these dudes will be happy little soldiers, and they're going to sniff the butt of Rod and Todd because they want to keep advancing their political careers. That was actually a Senate meeting. That's what it sounds like. 100%. Some other laws that are in effect starting today. Faster speed limits on most of 465 goes from 55 to 65.
That's been a long time coming. That's been how ridiculous. There are some parts of 465 that this should have been changed decades ago.
Right. And if you've ever tried to drive on 465 during rush hour,
yes.
I think it's cute. You think you'll even get to 55.
Right. Well, there's the opposite of that too. If you're driving during drive time hours, you're not keeping up with traffic if you're driving 55.
Correct.
You're slowing down people. You can't keep up with traffic if you're only driving 55.
Correct.
So I'm glad to see that they are changing this. Now, do we have to wait for the sign to change?
They're installing the signs now, so you may see a few construction hiccups like on the shoulder, like on the side. Just be careful. Don't be the moron that's like, new speed limit, and drop the hammer next to somebody that's working on the side of the road. Yeah. That's somebody's dad, that's somebody's son, daughter. Don't be a moron. Let them get the sign up, and then business as usual. Other laws in effect today. This is something Guy Relford's been passionate about. The expungement of bullcrap red flag filings.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that one. That's where, like, if your psycho ex says you're dangerous, but you're not, and he needs to have his guns taken away, and, the red flag laws, blah, 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 blah. And then the judge finds out, oh, well, this is bullcrap. You can have your guns back. The red flag law, that identifier is still on your record.
Right. Even though it was totally bogus.
Even though it was totally bogus, it's still, you could still search that up on like My Case or whatever it's called.
Right.
And employers could see that and say, oh, well, you've had a red flag law filed against you. Yeah, but it was bogus. But no, it's still right here. The expungement erases that.
Right. So if the court has said nothing to see here, now there will literally be nothing to see there. Also in effect today, IDs, college identifications from Indiana colleges and universities, that's not good enough to vote. You have to have a state-issued ID or driver's license. You can't just show your, I go to school at UIndy, I go to school at Purdue card. That's not good enough.
Okay.
This is designed to make sure voting fraud doesn't take place. The rollback of DEI stuff and transgender women no longer allowed to compete in college sports in the state of Indiana. So those are all new laws.
That's the only one I disagree with.
Really?
I'm kidding. Did you really think I was being serious?
Sometimes I don't know. Like sometimes you'll surprise me.
I think men should be able to compete with women in college sports. That's
I was waiting to hear the argument. Go ahead, Nige.
Oh, by the way, I got a message from John Prine just now, Indiana State Police Public Information Officer, about the speed limit. Yes, speed limits enforced at what the signs are posted, but we're not stopping people for 65 in a 55 anyway.
Update on Diddy trial.
Uh-oh.
So previously we said that the jury has reached a decision in 4 out of the 5 charges, okay? With the most serious one, charge 1 of RICO, being the one that they haven't made a decision on.
The RICO is like they could charge not only Diddy, but all his associates.
Big racketeering kind of charge.
Yeah.
According to Fox News, the judge is going to tell the jury, thanks but no thanks, come back when you have all 5.
Keep going.
Keep deliberating. So this is the latest from Fox News. They had the courtroom filled up. Diddy's family had arrived, but they only had 4 out of 5 charges decided. The judge is going to tell the jury, keep deliberating. We're not doing 4 out of 5. Let me know when you have all 5. All right, Matt Bear, what's going on?
North side crash westbound 465. I'm counting 4, maybe 5 cars in this. It's between 31 and Ditch Road. Right now, 2 left lanes are blocked. Traffic is stopped past 31 Meridian. Our delay is at 15 minutes. Also looking at southbound 31, that's jammed up from 111th in the exit lanes to 465 because of the crash we just mentioned. South side is stalled. Eastbound 465 after US 31 east to center lane block. Traffic stop and go back to I-69 delayed 11 minutes. Northeast side, another stall. Northbound 465 at East 71st. And the right lane is blocked. Traffic stop and go back to I-70 delayed 12 minutes. Inbound 65 slow, 21st to Meridian Penn. Westbound 70 jams after rural into the north split. And southbound 65 70 jammed up for an 18-minute delay between the north and south splits. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
In terms of nicknames for Allison's fans,
yes,
I've got a new one from Corn Dog.
Please.
How about Allistanians?
Allistanians
for Allison.
I still like Allisonians better, probably.
Okay.
Allisonians, Allistanians, or Alice Holes.
How about Alejandros?
Nigel sings that to me anyway.
That's how he greets Allison when she walks into the office. 84 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Are you okay with this? Next.
Matt Bear here for Trajan Wealth. Trajan Wealth, it comes to investing, I thought I was good in relation to my retirement capital. Trajan Wealth gave it a second look, and I was so wrong about so many things, my words only. I was missing huge opportunities. Now my path to retirement is clear, all because I got a second opinion from Trajan Wealth, the fiduciary advisors. Call today, schedule your first appointment. It's free, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. You see, Trajan, they're fiduciaries, which means they'll put your needs first. I trust them with my future, and you should too. They offered me straight talk, no sales pitch, and their advice is built around what's best for you. Call today and learn more, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out our variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Are you really okay with this? Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Man, Hammer, this is crazy. An apartment building in Cleveland caught fire last week. And there were some good Samaritans. They caught a baby they dropped from a third-story window because of the fire. And mom had to climb out down a rope made of bed sheets to get out, like something out of a movie. They're both okay. Here's one of the guys that caught the baby talking about what happened.
I heard something going like, shoo, shoo, shoo. Boom! Like it literally blew up, and I flipped. This is my baby she got, in her hands. Like I'm like, drop the baby, let her go. I'm gonna catch her. I was thanking God that baby got saved.
Yeah, I'm sure you're okay with that.
Yes, absolutely. And man, the things sometimes you have to do in the heat of the moment when life or death are on the line here. Like never in a million years did somebody think you would have to throw your baby through a third-story window. But if the other option is burning to death or smoke inhalation, you got to make that decision.
While you're climbing down a makeshift rope, a.k.a. bed sheets. I mean, you see that in the movies. Like you're in the apartment and the apartment's on fire and the only way to get out is tying bed sheets together to get out. That's out of a movie.
In the third Hangover movie, Alan and Bradley Cooper tied bed sheets together at Caesar's Palace to try to shimmy down to get into Mr. Chow's room.
I don't remember that scene.
Yes. Great moments. They spit on each other's hands to make sure their hands are tied up to get down. But this brings us to great moments in catching babies thrown in a fire history.
Good Lord.
Great moments in catching babies thrown in a fire history. There was a situation in Philadelphia a number of years ago where there was a fire that took place on a Sunday night. And the hero in this, the guy that caught the baby, was clearly a big Philadelphia Eagles fan. And earlier in that game, Eagles wide receiver Nelson Aguilar dropped a couple big passes.
Yeah.
So listen to the hero's interview on television.
I seen a guy hanging out the window, screaming that his kids was in there and things like that. So I ran to the back door. One of my old coworkers took the ladder off the truck, raised it up, and was assisting people down. My man just started throwing babies out the window. Wow. We was catching them, unlike Aguilar.
Nelson Aguilar taking some shrapnel on his hero interview on television.
We were catching babies left and right, unlike Aguilar.
Can I hear the ending, Allison, please, one more time?
That's great.
We was catching them, unlike Aguilar.
So good. Great moments in catching babies thrown in a fire history.
Caitlin Clark, the 9th best guard in the WNBA. That's what her peers think in all-star player votes. Purely all-star player votes. Caitlin Clark is the 9th best guard in the WNBA. Are you okay with this?
No, I'm not. And these anonymous player polls are such trash. This is the same type of thing that Tyrese Halliburton is the most overrated player. And then he goes on a generational run in the playoffs where he hits a buzzer beater in every single round, including the NBA Finals, right? So these anonymous polls are such trash. And the next thing you're going to tell me is that women are catty and jealous. I know this may be a shocking claim to some, but maybe, just maybe, the majority of the people that were interviewed in this player survey were probably black lesbians, and they're a little jealous of the white heterosexual girl that gets all the attention and sells all the tickets. Nobody hates successful women more than other women.
And what the story we had yesterday is that across the board for the WNBA All-Star Game, she was like the number one player. Like 1.2 million people voted for her to be the captain or whatever.
Right. So, of course, these women don't like the popular, straight, white girl. It's the problem with the WNBA. Even some of Caitlin's teammates. The way I see it, there's only one that ever comes to her aid, and that's Sophie. And that had to happen in the fourth quarter of that game because her other teammates just stood around like goons while she was the victim of a gang initiation.
Why are you okay with this? Oh, I want to see what you think of this new band.
Okay.
They're called Velvet Sundown.
Okay.
The Velvet Sundown. And when we say they, we mean artificial intelligence, Hammer. This project already has 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. This is an AI band. This is their song, part of their song, Let It Burn.
Flicker lights on silver sand, marching ghosts with no command.
AI band. So it's The Velvet Sundown. Let's keep it going for a second.
Velvet boots on mirrored ground.
500,000 monthly listeners.
Drums of thunder, distant sound.
Keep it going. Let it go for just a second. Let's get to the chorus.
Okay.
Promises in static blue.
And these are not real people. This is artificial.
This is
Loud in silent room.
artificial intelligence. And again, 500 monthly listeners on Spotify. Are you okay with this?
Yes, I'm all right with this. This is better than a lot of the crap that I hear right now. Like, if my options are hearing crap from a real human or something that's okay from artificial intelligence, does it matter if you're getting it fake or real, Nige? If your options are okay or crap, which one are you taking? I'm taking
Think
okay.
about that. There's something that didn't sound bad.
No,
not at all. That did not sound bad, but AI, there's just something weird and creepy about it to me. I'm not saying it sounded bad. I'm not saying I'd rather listen to crap, but it does. That's creepy.
Obviously, you can't go watch
why.
them live, obviously. But if it comes on the radio and you've got the option of a Color Me Bad song or these guys here, Velvet Sundown, sign me up for Velvet Sundown.
You're not going with sex. I want to sex you up?
Have you seen the lead singer of Color Me Bad now?
No.
He's enjoyed the buffet. Now, listen, I'm not the thinnest guy in the world. But if you type in the lead singer of Color Me Bad, I think his name is Brian something or other. They were one of those bands that now kind of do like the casino tours and things like that.
Yeah.
There was a show.
Oh, hello.
There was a show not that long ago where the well-fed fella jumped off stage and got in a fight at the casino.
Yeah.
They're a mess. So sign me up for the Velvet Sundown over what's left of Color Me Bad.
Fair enough.
All right, let's do the bit that's ultimately going to get us fired. Let's do some caller roulette.
Wonderful.
So if you want to talk about anything, if you've ever wanted to call into a radio station, this is the segment to do it. Because all we're going to ask for is your name. We don't care what you want to talk about as long as it's clean and you keep it brief. So if you want to talk about the big, beautiful bill, if you want to talk about the alligator Alcatraz, if you want to talk about why you would be the perfect lover for producer Allison, all of these things are on the table. They're all on the table here. So 239-9393. That's the number.
Watching Allison's face. I can barely even see her face. I can just see her. I can just see her eyebrows whenever you say something like that.
239-9393. Whatever you want to talk about, just keep it radio clean and be brief. That's all we're asking. And now, with a look at the news on 93 WIBC, here's Jake McDaniel.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
If convicted, he could face life in prison. Still partly cloudy and 86 degrees here in the Circle City. I'm Jake McDaniel. This report is brought to you by Michaelis Corporation. Here's what's trending at 5:31. A major update on the jury trial of Sean Diddy Combs. He faces several charges, including sex trafficking. Here's Fox's CB Combs.
This 2-month-long trial, which included nearly 7 weeks of witness testimony, has gotten us to this point. Just before 4:30 this afternoon, local time, jurors came back with a note. And we've learned that jurors say they are unable to reach a verdict on count 1, racketeering conspiracy, but they have reached a consensus on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. We've learned from inside the courtroom the defense wants the jury to keep deliberating and does not want to take a partial verdict. We're waiting to see how prosecutors will respond to this major update from here in the ongoing federal sex trafficking trial.
Fox's C.B. Cotton, how about that? The big, beautiful bill cleared the state Senate Tuesday and headed back to the House. A vote is expected as early as tomorrow, says House Majority Leader Representative Steve Scalise.
I'm very confident it will pass. And the question you have to ask is, if this bill doesn't pass, what are the consequences? They would be severe. Let's get this bill passed and get this economy moving again and deliver on President Trump's agenda.
Only 3 Republicans voted no, and they are Senators Tom Tillis of North Carolina, Rand Paul of Kentucky, and Susan Collins of Maine. Indiana Senators Todd Young and Jim Banks voted to advance the bill, which now goes back to the House. Pacers center Miles Turner made a multi-million-dollar 4-year deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. This marks the end of an era for the franchise's longest tenured player. Turner was drafted by the Pacers in 2015 and has spent all 10 of his seasons in Indiana. He was recruited as part of the Bucks, and the Pacers will have to deal with that challenge. You may also remember Pacer guard Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Head coach Rick Carlisle says Halliburton is likely to be out the whole upcoming season. And you're paying an average of $3.20 a gallon of gas today, according to GasBuddy.com. That is up 12 cents from last week and last month, and 2 cents above the national average. And the cheapest gas is in Chesterfield at $2.63 with cash only. WIBC traffic at 5:33. How's it looking out there, Matt Bear?
On the north side, we have a crash. It's westbound 465 before Ditch Road. 2 left lanes are blocked. Multiple cars in this, and traffic is jammed up back to Westfield Boulevard. It's also stopped the exit from southbound 31 to 465. That's backed up to 111th Street. Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic after Keystone Avenue past Allisonville Road. Northeast side in Lawrence. Northbound 465 at East 71st. It's a stall blocking the right lane, slowing us down back to I-70. Southbound 465, stop and go before 70 down to Brookville Road. Westbound 70 from the east, slow. Rural Street into the north split and jammed. On southbound 65, 70 from the north to the south split, 21-minute delay because of construction. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic. Belmont to the south split, delayed 4 minutes. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now here's your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Expect the coolest night since the night of June 20th and also the first night in the 60s since then. We'll see numbers fall down to the mid-60s for what should be a nice mild night overall. And then we'll turn around and have another warm Wednesday with a little bit of humidity, but not overly miserable, with plenty of sunshine to go around. High temperatures in the upper 80s for Wednesday afternoon. Thursday will be peaking close to 90. Some spots, in fact, may hit 90 on Thursday with plenty of sunshine to go around once again as well. I'm Wish TV Storm Track ABD meteorologist Stephen BNF on 83 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Buckle up. Anything can happen here.
Oh, hell yeah. Let it ride. Let it ride.
Hammer and Nigel present Caller Roulette.
Bad idea. Bad idea. This really is a bad idea. We've got so much to lose and very little to gain by doing this, but hey, it's what makes us number one, baby. We roll the dice sometimes. So we're going to take some calls. All we have is a name. I have no idea what these people want to talk about on the phone bank next to us, but all we ask is you keep it brief and you don't swear. You keep it radio clean, okay? That's all we're asking. Let's light this candle. Mark, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, man.
I want to talk about Mayor Joe and what we all know happened. Now, I don't doubt in any way, shape, or form that everything they say happens, but I got to call BS on the whole thing because I think I feel the same way you do. If that was my wife or my girlfriend, there'd be lawsuits instead of this quick cover-up by these attorneys. And you have to ask yourself, why is there no lawsuit? Probably because these women are putting their ideology over being sexual harassed and want to continue working in that field, or they're afraid that the field they get into will be tampered with or influenced by the politicians down the road.
I did wonder why there were no sexual harassment lawsuits filed. I mean, that's a legitimate question.
I feel like
bring everything out.
Yeah. Had that been a Republican mayor, let's say pick any Republican you want. He's the mayor. Do you think these women who were Democrats would have filed sexual harassment charges as opposed to just blow a whistle to bring attention to it? That's an interesting
it would have happened that day.
Interesting.
They would have filed that day.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, man, and it's pretty gross that there are still council members that are trying to sweep this under the rug.
Oh, they're hoping it goes away.
Right. Absolutely.
It hasn't gone away, though.
And it shouldn't go away. I mean, think about what we've allowed in this city. You had a mayor that went missing during the riots, and we know where he was at. You have a mayor that is covering up a lot of sexual harassment after it was brought to him from staff members of the same political party, and his response was to bring the dude back that did the alleged harassing.
For the campaign.
Thomas Carl Cook, yes. So that's the type of dude that Indy elects, though. That's the type of guy that Indy says this is just fine. And if you're a Democrat, and most certainly a Republican on this council, and you have not yet spoken up about this, you are gutless. Absolutely gutless. Let me go to Jeff. Jeff, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
I really don't know why I called in. I can't stand your guys' show or your opinions, so sorry for calling.
All right, there we go. I love this segment.
I don't believe Jeff. I think he loves the show.
Nice try, Tony Katz. David is up next. David, what's up?
Hey, just real quick. Matt Bear is to traffic what Eminem is to rap. He is the traffic god.
Oh, wow. That's big praise right there.
You hear that, Matt?
Like, I would like to see a traffic battle between, like, Matt Bear and Tara Hastings and Marcus Bailey, whoever's doing traffic at Wish that morning. Let's go. My money's on Matt Bear.
You hear that,
My
Matt?
money is on Matt Bear every day.
Thank you so much for that, David. Like, we get him alone in, like, this big, like, garage hall. There's people standing around. Backups on 465. Like, they start going back and forth.
You got traffic served.
That's right. What was it you saying one time? You got 99 problems, but ditch ain't one?
I got 99 problems, but ditch ain't one.
That's right. Let's go. Sharon is up next. Sharon, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, I'm wondering if you guys would be able to get stats on how many vehicles have been ticketed in the construction zones since that started.
Well, Matt Bear, that sounds like an assignment for you. You're the traffic guy. We're going to lay that at your feet here. You know the contacts over there. Half those people probably hate our guts. So, Matt, if you're listening, we're tasking you with being the guy that finds some information out for us.
I wonder if they keep those stats.
Yeah, because a lot of people are starting to get tickets here, and they're not happy about it, to say the least. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Another Jeff.
Hey, what's up, fellas? Thanks for taking my call. Hey, about 25, 26 years ago, I went down to my father-in-law's house to watch a Colts game at the lake. I drove in my 48 Mercury. I come down there. Might have had a sip of a little bit of hooch and nursed a beer all night. And it's time to go home, and my father-in-law said, hey, he come up to the passenger side. He said, take this onion, son. He said, if you get pulled over by the law, just take a couple bites out of it. So sure enough, I go out on there, man. I'm in my hot rod. I drive to all the cities, you know, coming up there all the way. Get about a mile and a half in front of Bargersville, and sure enough, I see the cherries. And I was like, man, I'm sweating. I'm chewing. I'm looking in the rearview mirror. I'm looking over at that onion. I'm looking in the rear. I'm looking at the onion. I was like, what the hell? So I started eating that son of a bitch like a apple, right?
Right.
And they drive right by me with with no sirens on. And I was like, and then I'm smiling now. I was like, so I get all the way home, and my wife, I go home, I go in the bedroom, I sleep, I wake up the next morning, I take a shower, And my wife comes in the bedroom. She said, if you were going to sup at White Castle last night, you could have at least bought the kids and I something to eat so I wouldn't have to cook in the morning.
Right, the onion smell. Yes, of course.
I love Jeff explaining how to get out of a DUI.
Right.
Even though it doesn't sound like he was drinking that much.
I'm waiting for another text from Sergeant Perrine to come in and
here
say,
it comes.
can we please pump the brakes on tips on how to beat a DUI on the Hammer and Nigel show?
I think the state police have pretty much covered all that. I think they know all the tricks. Yeah, putting a bunch of pennies in your mouth ain't going to work.
That was the other one I was going to bring up. You put the pennies in your mouth
no.
and the copper taste. It's supposed to be screwy to the breathalyzer. Yeah, there's really no way of getting around that. Now, if you want to, I guess, argue when was the last time that breathalyzer was calibrated, you might have a case. But if the officer can say, yeah, I just had it calibrated a couple days ago, you're done for. You're absolutely done for. Yeah. John is up next. John, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hi, I just wanted everyone to know that the Speedway gas station at 116th and Rangeline Road was selling cigarettes yesterday and charging the extra tax on them, and I don't believe the tax was implemented yet.
That's correct.
No.
So go to the Attorney General's website and the online consumer complaint
Actually,
form.
let's just give him Todd Rakita's personal phone number.
Yeah. Call him tonight about 3 o'clock in the morning and really go off on it. But
that
you can
sounds
also
good.
No. It's a serious thing. That
right.
sucked.
Well, people getting screwed sucks. So contact the ATC in Indy, the ATC, or the Attorney General's office website. They've got the online consumer complaint form, and light those no good nicks up. Scott is up next. Scott, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Scott!
How about fans of Allison? I don't know if I can say this. Can you say Allisonza?
Allisonza, you know what?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Allisonza biscuit eaters. I like it.
Yes, sir.
I like it. We may have to use a Twitter poll one day to figure out the best
Yeah,
nickname
that's a good idea.
for Allison's fans.
Okay.
Nigel can't vote.
Johnny gets the last word here. Johnny, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show.
Hey, Hammer and Nigel. Hey, listen, I've mentioned this before when you had Dudley Do-Right, our governor on, and he kind of avoided the question, but I was going to see if you can ask him or Rakita that first, I guess, start off with asking them what the fines are, or how much they bring in for marijuana arrests, misdemeanors, felonies, what they bring in. I talked to you about this before, that you could buy 3 ounces in Michigan, have in your front seat. Not, it's not against the law. I drove over on Indiana side, and I'm going to go to jail, pay probation, court costs. And I just wanted to see if you can ask Todd Rakita or Dudley Do-Right, our governor, that if they don't want to at least legalize marijuana in the state, maybe they can decriminalize it where a person doesn't pay thousands of dollars in court costs and fines and jail. And then the other thing I was going to ask you is with the cigarette deal, if I go over to Michigan and buy cigarettes, I buy 10 cartons. Am I going to get in trouble if I get pulled over and I got 10 cartons in my trunk?
Honestly, I mean, the real reality is law enforcement is not going to bust you for that.
No.
Technically, you're not supposed to turn on the red lights in downtown Indy. But guess what? People do it all the time, and there's never a cop that's going to pull you over for it.
And there's nobody that's in jail right now for just purely having a little bit of marijuana.
Right. You're not going to be next to Diddy, who's in there for RICO.
Yeah, you don't need pardoned for – that's kind of a myth that, like, you're incarcerated for just a little bit of marijuana and you need pardoned, or you need, it's the high dollar, the high traffic people that are dealing in giant amounts.
Now, if you're doing 100 miles an hour while you get pulled over with all that stuff,
well, that's
they might
different.
Pile it on top. They'll always pile charges on top, but there'll be some other reason as to why you get pulled over. So, yeah, they've got bigger fish to fry, let's be honest. All right, good round of calls. We appreciate you guys. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. I'm here with Michaela to talk about water damage. Water damage at your home or business can come from heavy rains, broken or frozen pipes, and countless other ways. Michaela, if someone has a loss due to water, why should they call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local, family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. We are manning the phones and ready to help 24/7, 365. Michaelis specializes in water damage restoration, is IICRC certified, and will restore your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
I know a big part of getting back to normal is dealing with the insurance company. Can Michaelis help there?
Yes, Michaelis works through the entire process on your behalf to make it easy and give you peace of mind.
If you have water damage, call the Michaelis Corporation. Water, storms, fire, and mold, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY. Make it Michaelis.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
Hey, it's Matt Bear for Conklin Exteriors. Don't wait to beautify your home for summer for a fresh new look and increased home value. New siding by Conklin Exteriors is the answer. From James Hardy fiber cement siding to a big array of vinyl siding colors and styles, the experienced pros at Conklin have all the choices. Plus, a lifetime workmanship warranty and over 10,000 satisfied customers. For your free estimate, call Conklin Exteriors at 317-ROOFING or visit ConklinExteriors.com. Tell them I sent you.
Mark Dietel, the only local real estate agent I would trust to sell my home, the only local real estate agent I'd trust to find me a new one. How about John in Greencastle? He bought a home in Greencastle, right? But shortly after, his son moved to Fishers, which left him an hour away from family and 45 minutes from work. So John thought he made a big mistake and felt stuck since he'd only been in his home less than a year. Not a problem for the Mark Dietel team. They delivered big. John's home sold in 14 days for the price he needed so he could move closer to family and work.
Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date, no long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Mark Dietel makes this easy. All you have to do is reach out to him. Call him right now, 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Emmer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
The countdown is on. The golf outing powered by Franciscan Health is coming up fast Thursday, August 7th at the Legends Golf Club in Franklin. Grab your crew for a day of fairway fun. Don't wait. Lock in your spot now at 1075thefan.com.
All right, Matt Bear, what's the latest with our roads?
North side crash, westbound 465 before ditch. 2 left lanes are blocked, and traffic is stopped to Westfield Boulevard. Southbound 6570 in this construction delay from the north split to the south split. We have a crash at Michigan Street, and it's blocking the center lane. Traffic stopped into the north split, then we continue to be jammed up to the south split. Northbound 65 stop and go out of the north split to 21st Street. Eastbound 70 slow from Harding to Meridian, Illinois. South side eastbound 465 stop and go traffic after 31 over to Emerson Avenue. A stall on the northeast side. Northbound 465 at East 71st. Right lane is blocked. Traffic is slow past Pendleton Pike, a 16-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
84 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
It's a real headline from the New York Post. You ready?
Bring it.
Passenger flagged by TSA after swamp crotch sets off alarm. A mid-sized adult woman, which means 170 pounds, 5'8", wearing bike shorts and normal underwear, set off the TSA scanner. She was a little sweaty in the crotch, and the perspiration set off the alarm. This is not a joke. This is a legitimate story in the New York Post, and it's happened to multiple people.
Right. This has happened a couple different times. Swamp crotch setting off the TSA scanner.
Hammer and Nigel has the answer for swamp crotch.
Tired of your sweaty parts setting off alarms at TSA? Introducing Dry Zone 3000, the gender-neutral powder that turns your swamp crotch into a desert oasis.
Walking a mile through Terminal B. Wearing tight pants with no AC. They wave that wand like they slicing ham. Stopped at the spot where the funk began. I got the swamp crotch blues and no shame to hide. My groin's like a rainforest, all moist inside.
One quick dust and you're dry, confident, and flying past security like a breeze. Dry Zone 3000, so your swamp crotch can make it through Gate 12.
True story, true headline. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more.